Chapter 1. Special Summon Skeleton. Chapter 1. Special Summon Skeleton. Yunhua is a university in the city of Leijiang, a junior college belonging to the second tier in the country. In a room in the boys' dormitory at the University of Yunhua, Yu Zhong is taking a look at his clothing in the mirror to finish dressing. Yu Zhong, while finished dressing, quietly thought, "What kind of trouble will that little mischievous devil give me today?" Today is Sunday. In the room, there are 6 metal frame beds, but only Yu Zhong was there. The other roommates were out having fun for the weekend. Yu Zhong was preparing to go out to work as a tutor to earn his living expenses. "You mortals that look like ants, I am God. I hate to look at you weak humans living a quiet and peaceful life. From now on, I will put you all into the God and demon system. Struggle. Struggle hard, become stronger, and use it to please me. Only continuously becoming stronger will you be able to survive. Otherwise, you will die. Now the countdown begins. 5. A strange sound suddenly appeared in Yu Zhong's mind. As the sound appeared, his eyes froze. He felt as if time froze. The entire surroundings also became extremely slow, as if time had stopped. In his mind, he only heard the sound. 4. 1. The game officially begins. All of you ants struggle to survive. Following the end of the sound, Yu Zhong was liberated from his bizarre state. What is this? On the inside, Yu Zhong was filled with astonishment, and he stared at the meter-long stick in his hand, which appeared out of nowhere. It made him realize what he had just heard was not a hallucination. Novice staff, new equipment. Novice level weapon. Attack of 0 to 5. Durability 100/100. Please make good use of this weapon to survive. Yu Zhong male. Level 1. Occupation, none. Title, none. Strength, 9-10. Agility, 10-10. Vitality, 9-10. Stamina, 8-8-10. Spirit, 12-10. Endurance, 10-10. Yu Zhong's mind was amazed. Strange info like this flowed directly into his head. Looking at the stick in his hand, a sense of foreboding welled up in Yu Zhong's mind, so he rushed towards the dormitory door to lock it up. He then quickly opened a roommate's closet and took out binoculars. The opposite dorm facing Yu Zhong's was the girls' dorm, so quite a few of the boys in the dorms bought binoculars to peek at the girls. Yu Zhong, with one hand holding the staff, walked towards the window, looking outside. Right now, it is about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so the students that did not go out were sleeping in the dorm. Very few people were out. "Save me!" A shrill scream rang out in the street. Yu Zhong looked towards the direction of the scream and saw a scene of horror. He saw a girl wearing a white t-shirt surrounded by 8 other girls. The 8 girls were crazily biting and gnawing the white t-shirt girl. Fresh blood stained her clothes. The girl was constantly struggling and screaming, but there was no way to escape. Why is this happening? Seeing the horribly frightening scene in the distance, the inside of Yu Zhong felt like a storm. He immediately put on the binoculars to look over there. Through the binoculars, Yu Zhong can clearly see the situation. The 8 girls were attacking the white t-shirt girl, their eyes without spirit. They were like mad beasts biting at her body, constantly tearing chunks of fresh meat and swallowing it. The sense was so gruesome, it made Yu Zhong feel nauseous and overwhelmed with fear. Though in his heart he was afraid, he tried to calmly observe. The 8 girls were still biting the white t-shirt girl tattered body. Her body was full of flesh wounds, with many missing chunks. After they finished, they stopped biting and spread out, wandering aimlessly. Their walking speed was somewhat slow, much less than the average person, but they moved in groups. If you were surrounded, there would be basically no possibility for survival. Yu Zhong looked at the slow girls while thinking, "Is this Resident Evil?" His eyes turned white. With mouths still covered with human blood, they looked so terrifying. He suddenly had a thought. These girls were acting just like the zombies in Resident Evil. Yu Zhong's conjecture was soon verified. The white t-shirt girl, who had lost her vitality and was bitten beyond recognition, slowly picked herself up off the floor. With both of her eyes deathly white, she staggered aimlessly around the street. It's bad. Zombies. Yu Zhong was cold inside. If it was really like he thought, with the entire campus full of zombies, it would be hard for him to survive. Suddenly, the sound of loud knocking came at the door. Danger! Zombies! Yu Zhong, who was shaking on the inside, immediately pushed a wooden computer desk towards the door to block the door. Accompanied by a clicking sound, the thin wooden door shattered. 2 claws pierced through the door. So much power! Yu Zhong, who was scared, backed away. Yinhua University dorm room doors were flimsy and wooden, but for ordinary people, to pierce through the door without the help of any tool was not possible. The zombies' powers were far beyond Yu Zhong's imagination. The 2 claws which pierced through the door were insistently shaking, and at the same time, there was the sound of the door being pushed. Yu Zhong, eyes flashing, while gritting his teeth and overcoming his fears, walked towards the door. He used his novice staff to chop at the 2 limbs. Yu Zhong attacked more than 10 times before he was able to cut off the end of the zombie's claws. Its 2 arms were then withdrawn. The moment that the zombie arms were cut off, it was accompanied by a loud noise. The thin wooden door was then smashed through by a head with a big hole and white eyes. A short-haired zombie that was a student had stuck his head in, constantly struggling toward Yu Zhong. Yu Zhong recognized at a glance that the zombie in front of him was a member of the school soccer team. He was a classmate that lived next door to him. Su Zheng. They were acquaintances, and just 20 minutes ago, they were chatting. He didn't expect that 20 minutes later, Su Zheng would become a zombie. I'm sorry, I want to live. Looking at the struggling zombie, Yu Zhong's eyes flashed with a complex light. He grit his teeth, and while holding the novice staff above his head, he smashed down on it with all his strength. Under Yu Zhong's full blow, Su Zheng's zombie head was cut and twisted, tilting to the side. Almost at the same time, a little black book and a black coin came out of Su Zheng's body and fell within the vicinity of Yu Zhong's reach. A white light that was invisible to human eyes flew out from Su Zheng and into his own. Yu Zhong, sharp-eyed, came forward to that little black book and black coin and picked them up. Then he took a few steps back. Level 3 skill book. Summon a special skeleton. Description. Consumes 10 MP summons a special skeleton from the world of the dead to fight for you. Special skeleton's initial level is 1, with 6 initial properties of 10, 10, 10, 10 tenths, 10, 180/180. Cooldown is 10 days. Would you like to learn the skill? When Yu Zhong took the little black book, a strange sense of information quickly flowed into his mind. He immediately made the choice. Learn immediately. Before reaching level 30, you can only learn 3 active skills. Are you sure you want to learn the skill, summon a special skeleton? Yes. Yu Zhong selected the option without hesitation. Currently, he was only worried about being able to survive. In order to progress into the future, he could not worry about using up the skill slots. Right now, just gaining any bit of strength was good. Those zombies have great strength. Being able to destroy the wooden door, he felt that hiding inside the dormitory was not safe. Yu Zhong must obtain the strength to live. He will worry about other stuff later. Right at this moment, the level 3 skill book, Summon a Special Skeleton, quickly disappeared into a black light and flowed into him between his eyebrows. Yu Zhong immediately considered his knowledge. In his mind, he touched a strange rune, and soon a sound prompted in his head. Summon a special skeleton? You need to consume 10 MP. Yes. He immediately made up his mind and activated the skill, Summon a Special Skeleton. The next moment, a bunch of mysterious incantations suddenly blurted out from his mouth. Emptiness. A giant cave appeared out of nowhere. The cave's atmosphere exudes endless death with its scent in the air. Meanwhile, Yu Zhong felt a slight pain in his head. As a mysterious force passed through, his head felt a bit dizzy. Then a skeleton, left with only bones, slowly walked out from the cave. It was surrounded with a black mist, with 2 eyes flashing with magical flames. A strange, human-like skeleton came out from the world of the death. Yu Zhong had a feeling of connection with it. Special Skeleton Level 1. Strength, 10-10. Agility, 10-10. Vitality, 10-10. Stamina, 10-10. Spirit, 10-10. Endurance, 5-10. Have skills, utilizing Bone's ability. The skeleton looked at Yu Zhong, immediately went to the zombie killed by Yu Zhong. Using arms, it stabbed into Su Zheng's zombie body. Chapter 2. Evolution begins. Chapter 2. Evolution begins. A black light flashed, lasting about 30 seconds. Special Skeleton took a bone axe from the zombie's body, measuring 1.2 meters long, holding in its hand. After the bone axe was taken from the zombie's body, it turned into a puddle full of putrid black pus and blood. Yu Zhong watched Special Skeleton, pointing to a wooden computer next to him, and said, "Cut off the table." Special Skeleton used the bone axe to chop down on the computer desk. An audible splitting sound. The wooden computer desk was split apart with one strike. Amazing! Looking at that wooden computer desk split in half, Yu Zhong was happy on the inside. To have such a powerful undead guardian, his chances to survive had increased. After testing the destructive power of Special Skeleton, Yu Zhong picked up the black coin and carefully inspected it. 1 survival coin. Yu Zhong took the coin and received such a message. Although Yu Zhong did not know the worth of this survival coin, Yu Zhong still carefully put it into his pocket. At this moment, from outside the door, came the sound of a fierce collision. A claw abruptly pierced through the wooden door, shaking it nonstop. Between several breaths, the door burst open for zombies with white eyes, shoved at the door, and crawled inside the dorm room. There was a shattering sound. Yu Zhong looked outside and saw that a window was smashed by a zombie. From outside, the zombie tried to squeeze inside through the window. Yu Zhong looked at the wooden door that was smashed by the zombies. With a wry smile, called out an order for Special Skeleton. The school had to minimize cost, but they shouldn't have saved money on the dorm construction. This is shoddy construction. Special Skeleton, kill those zombies that came in. Special Skeleton received the command of Yu Zhong, took a stride forward, and struck a blow towards the zombie's head, splitting and sending the head flying, foul blood splattering everywhere. Almost at the same time, 3 zombies rushed forward together, holding Special Skeleton, while pulling and biting. Bones of Special Skeleton were ripped off by the 3 zombies one by one. Its HP continued to drop. Special Skeleton's axe holding right hand was firmly held by the zombie, unable to move. Special Skeleton and 3 zombies tried to squeeze through the narrow door. Yu Zhong stepped forward, holding the stick and striking the zombie's head. The head of the zombie holding Special Skeleton's right arm with the axe was smashed to the side, its head twisted. A group of white light from the zombies' bodies flew into Yu Zhong's body. Special Skeleton's right arm with the axe was free. Immediately wielding the axe, the head of the zombie was cut off. Like it could smell the taste of the living, the body of the zombie holding Special Skeleton released its grip. Yu Zhong climbed over. Yu Zhong looked at the zombie's white eyes. A chunk of flesh was bitten off the face. The zombie's open mouth was full of blood. He took a step backward. These zombies are extremely dangerous. In a fight with it, just a scratch will turn you into their kind. If not necessary, Yu Zhong did not want to fight up close with these monsters. At this moment, the other zombie that broke through the window had entered the dorm and staggered towards Yu Zhong. Beyond the door, 2 zombies climb in from the hole into the room. As if it was sensitive to Yu Zhong, Special Skeleton, still fighting the zombie on the ground, suddenly used his hand to grab the zombie advancing forward. The zombie advancing toward Yu Zhong immediately fell to the ground. Yu Zhong raised the novice staff, striking the zombie's head, causing the zombie to twist to one side. A ball of white light quickly entered Yu Zhong's body. You have advanced to level 2. You have earned 2 points. Please distribute the points. The ball of white light had just entered Yu Zhong's body when the idea immediately sounded in Yu Zhong's mind. Distribute to strength and stamina. Yu Zhong immediately said. Fighting the zombies had consumed more stamina, far beyond what Yu Zhong had imagined. He only dealt with 3 zombies, but his stamina had dropped from 8 points to 3 points. In order to fully chop the zombie's head off, he had to use a lot of effort. Just after a couple breaths, there was a warmth flowing through his body. He vaguely felt his strength increase a bit. His stamina had started to recover. Congratulations, you survived and destroyed the monsters. The God and Devil world will award you with a basic skill. Please select a skill. Skill 1. Eyes of Perception can discern the information of monsters up to 5 level higher. Skill 2. Language Proficiency allows you to easily master the language of any country. Listening, speaking, and writing are no obstacle. These spells do not occupy one of the 3 active skill slots. Yu Zhong, without any hesitation, immediately made a choice. I choose Eyes of Perception. A light flashed. It quickly condensed and formed a bronze-colored rune inside his mind. He concentrated and utilized Eyes of Perception, looking at the zombie. Preliminary Infection Level 1. These are being eroded from infection of the virus, leaving only the desire for flesh and blood. Viral Infection Skill. As long as there is a cut on the skin, the virus will infect. Depending on a person's constitution, between 3 to 10 minutes, the body will be infected with preliminary infection. Beside the 3 treatment fluids, with the medical standards of this world, for at least a decade, it is incurable. Sure enough, Yu Zhong's eyes thicken, even somewhat more afraid of those zombies. The remaining 2 zombies staggered towards Yu Zhong. Special Skeleton wielded his large axe and cleaved. A zombie's head was cut off and sent flying. The other zombie lunged towards Special Skeleton, and with a vicious grip, ripped off a bone from the chest of Special Skeleton. Yu Zhong took the opportunity to step forward, using the stick to strike at the zombie's head, smashing the zombie's head. What is this? After receiving the Eyes of Perception, Yu Zhong can now see a ball of white light fly out from the zombie's body and into his body. Could it be that this is what is causing my body to grow stronger? Yu Zhong stared at the ball of white light and speculated. There is no information, so Yu Zhong put this question aside, looking at Special Skeleton and summoned him. Special Skeleton, White Bones, Level 2. Power, 1110. Agility, 1110. Vitality, 1110. Stamina, 91110. Spirit, 1110. Strength, 610. Have skills. Utilizing Bones ability. Chapter 3. Zombie Rampage. Chapter 3. Zombie Rampage. Amazing. Yu Zhong looked at Whitebone's stats. It made him excited. Whitebone's growth rate was higher than Yu Zhong. Its attributes increased by 6 points from just 1 level. Compared to an average person, it was now 10% higher. With such a powerful ally, his chances of survival has increased by a bit. Without hesitation, tolerating the stench coming from the corpses, it strongly pushed the computer desk, blankets, and pillow in the room to block the door and window. Even though it cannot withstand the zombies' attack, it can still delay them. Level 1 zombies, besides being strong, they have a very obvious weakness, which is their slow movements. If you did not encounter multiple zombies, with just a long weapon, even ordinary people can deal with them. But if surrounded by 10 zombies, you will surely die. Blocking the door, Yu Zhong let out a sigh of relief in this stench-filled room. The earlier experience made it difficult to accept. If he didn't receive the skill to summon White Bones, at this time, he would have become a zombie. A zombie in such a confined environment, Yu Zhong still had difficulty dealing with it. Attacked by 3 zombies, he would simply be overwhelmed. After a slight sigh of relief, Yu Zhong immediately rummaged through the dorm to find resources he could use. He soon found a bundle of mountain climbing ropes, a mountaineering backpack, 4 packs of instant noodle, a half-eaten bag of custard pie. With the narrow room, taking advantage of the terrain, Yu Zhong and White Bones working together were able to deal with the zombies. However, there is a key issue. This boys' dormitory has 8 floors. Each floor has 20 dorm rooms. Each room has 12 people inside, a total of 1,920 boys living there. Although it was Sunday and a large numbers of people went out, the ones that stayed still numbered more than 600 people. Even if 1/3 of these people became zombies, it would be terrifying. The most important point is that the dorm rooms didn't have much food or water supplies. Yu Zhong did not know if the water system had been infected or not. Other than his water bottle, he dared not to drink anything else. Yu Zhong quickly tied the rope to the bed, then threw the climbing rope outside the window. Seeing that the climbing rope landed, Yu Zhong then pulled over and sat on the seat. Took out binoculars to look out, observing the situation outside. White Bones was right beside, watching over him. At this time, it looked as though the whole school was in a frenzy. Some students rushed out of the dormitory. Following in their wake were staggering zombies. Many students had a bandaged wound on their body, with a look of pain, apparently injured. A boy running did not pay attention to what was under his feet. After passing a corpse, all of a sudden, the corpse grabbed his leg, causing him to stumble. He quickly fell to the ground. Zhang Ming, save me. With a terrifying look on his face, he looked at his friend in front and shouted. Zhang Ming looked back and saw that behind the boy were the zombies. With eyes full of fear, he turned around and fled without looking back. Zhang Ming, Zhou Feng, help, save me. That frightened boy screamed loudly. Zhou Feng, 8 meters tall, heard the boy's anguished voice and hesitated for a moment. He turned around and glanced back and only saw 8 zombies attacking the boy on the ground. Crazily being bitten, only the boy's wailing voice could be heard. Zhou Feng, seeing this scene, was so scared that his leg went limp. He then didn't look back and faced forward and fled. The 8 zombies were gnawing on the boy's body. Soon the boy's cries disappeared. The rest of the boys crazily fled outside. At this point, the entire campus has become a mass of chaos. Students everywhere are frightened and running away from the zombies chasing them. There are not many people on the street, but all of a sudden there were a lot of students and a large number of zombies. From time to time, there were students whose bodies twitched, then suddenly fell to the ground. When they stood up again, they had turned into zombies. The campus was filled with an atmosphere of panic. Yu Zhong was watching everything below. He was shaking on the inside. At this time on the streets below, the zombies were attracted by the students running around everywhere. On the street leading to the small supermarket on campus, there are 20 zombies standing there on the street, blocking the way to the small supermarket and the way outside the school. 6 boys from a dormitory saw that the zombies were blocking the street leading to the gate. As if they could feel the life force, 6 zombies promptly turned and walked towards the boys. The street to the school was not very wide, with 6 zombies already having the street almost entirely blocked, only leaving a small gap. 8 zombies behind the boys had just finished eating and staggered towards the 6 people. At this time, there were zombies in front and behind, blocking the way. At this critical moment, 2 boys with a look of horror, loudly shouting, rushed toward the zombies in front. Each of them, armed with a novice stick, stabbed a zombie each. Each zombie was knocked to the ground. A student took the chance to go through the gap. He was then blocked after a bit. A step too late, a big hand stretched out and firmly grabbed his arm. No! Help! Help! The student, in a panic, used his novice stick to hit the zombie, cutting off the arm of the zombie. The 3 remaining zombies took this chance to grab him and opened their jaws to bite hard on his neck. Help! The student immediately let a sharp scream. The 3 zombies, firmly holding the student, began eating him bloodily. The 2 remaining zombies were attracted by the smell of blood. They headed towards the student's body, lunged forward, and began biting his body. The other student ran past the zombies. Not too far, he was soon surrounded by the zombies. Submerged in dead corpses, he let out a miserable moan. The remaining 4 students witnessed the scene, eyes filled with terror. We're done. One student was so scared and collapsed on the ground. Up the tree, a relatively calm, tall boy. He looked at the surroundings and quickly crawled up the side of a tree. In the main campus of the University of Yinhua, there are trees and plants planted everywhere. The other 2 boys also had deft hands and feet and headed toward the trees and started climbing. Save me, Chen Gang. Give me a hand. The boy that was paralyzed on the floor, under his survival instincts, stood up, seeing the other three climbing the tree. He let out a shout. He did not know how to climb trees. Attracted to the scream of the boy, the zombies within 100 meters slightly shook and began to move toward the sound. Over 10 zombies that formed an army was sufficient to tear any resistance in the university. Chapter 4. Hard Battle in the Dormitory. Chapter 4. Hard Battle in the Dormitory. The first boy to climb up the tree, Chen Yao, heard the distressed sound of the boy below, hesitated. In just the few seconds of hesitation by Chen Yao, the zombie claws caught the boy below and viciously bit his neck. Ah! The boy uttered a cry of misery and soon was torn up by 5 zombies. The extremely piercing cry echoed in the area, brought fear to people's heart. Seeing a scene like this, the 3 students did not dare stop, rushing to climb the tree to escape. With eyes full of fear, quietly watching the 3 zombies below. Dozens of zombies surrounded the tree, formed a fearsome army, blocking the escape route to the outside world. Trouble. Yu was watching the situation outside, frowning. The only exit to the outside world was blocked. To escape from here, it looks extremely difficult. Those zombies' only weak point is the head, but with so much power, with only a small wound will kill a person, is extremely difficult to deal with. If they were not slow, without a firearm, even elite forces would have a very difficult time dealing with them. At this moment, a violent sound came from outside the room. 2 zombies from outside pile in. White Bones was guarding the front door of the dorm, viciously strike down with the axe, cutting down the head of the zombie. You stared at White Bones, saw a ball of white light from the zombie body fly into White Bones. 1 zombie has been killed. The remaining zombie struggled into the room, but its head was soon cleanly chopped off by White Bones' axe, black blood staining all over the floor. A ball of white light once again flew into White Bones' body. You frowned, thinking, summon monsters kill seems to only able to gain their own EXP, and none for the master. Seems like in order to get stronger, I have to kill the monsters myself. This discovery have caused your original plan to failed. He originally wanted to use White Bones to deal with the zombies because it was not afraid of being infected. Allowing him to be safely in the back while gaining EXP, now no longer possible. If you himself did not fight, he would never be able to get stronger. What will become the future of the world you did not know, but it was very clear to him that the wood would become extremely cruel. If he did not get stronger, even surviving is difficult. As if attracted here by the sound, 3 zombies staggered from the side of the door and crawled through the broken hole. White Bones, you take care of the 2 on the left. You ordered. Having received the order, White Bones stepped forward, swinging the axe and chopping off a zombie head. Foul blood splattered everywhere. The remaining 2 zombies, without fear, still crawled inside. In the doorway is a pile of debris. A zombie staggered forward, stumbling over the debris, and fell down to the ground. White Bones, wielding his axe, mercilessly hacked the zombie head, quickly killing the zombie. The remaining zombie's face was bitten beyond recognition, face full of holes. The white eyes zombie struggled to crawl through the hole, heading towards you. You overcame his fears, took a step forward and lifting his novice stick overhead, smashing down on the zombie head, causing the zombie head to tilt to the side. A ball of white light from the zombie flew into his body. You, taking no chances, allow White Bones to chop off the head of the zombie. He tries to catch his breath since no zombie was left. Outside, the zombies were staggering in, attempting to break in from both the windows and door. A lot of zombies. Seeing those crazy zombies crowded into the room, couldn't help but gasp. This time together, there was more than a dozen zombies crowding outside his door. Those whitened eyes, zombie devoid of life, gave him an oppressive feeling. Melee combat was consuming a lot of stamina, and when fighting zombies, even a small scratch was deadly. The feeling of facing over a dozen zombies was completely different than facing 1 zombies. Fortunately, the entrance was small, allowing only at most 3 zombies through. 3 zombies crowded in front of the door were struggling to get inside. Another zombie was trying to crawl through the window. Besides those 4 zombies, the rest of the zombies were crowded outside the door. A sense of having to kill countless zombies made him weak. "White Bones, the 3 at the door are yours," you ordered, and ran towards the window, his eyes flashing with a determined light, using the novice stick to smash at the zombie head, causing the head to be twisted to the side. White Bones, after gaining a level, his action is now better than in the past. It tramples the corpse of a zombie at the door, with one strike neatly cutting off the head of a zombie. The remaining 2 zombies squeeze through from behind their comrade's body, trying to get through. The 2 zombies right after get through, stumble over the debris, and fell to the ground. You took the opportunity to advance forward, hitting the zombie on the head, smashing the head crooked. White Bones, with a swing of his axe, cut off another zombie's head. You haven't been able to catch his breath, but 4 more zombies were already trying to through the door and window. You gritted his teeth, advancing forward towards the window where a zombie, with his eyes bitten off, striking severely at the zombie head, smashing it to the side. A ball of white light flew into his body. White Bones, standing before the door, skillfully waving his axe, and cut a zombie head in 2. The foul blood splattered everywhere. At this point, the zombie corpses and all kind of debris have clogged the door, but the zombies are still aggressively trying to break through. However, the remaining 2 zombies were stuck in the door, continually struggling. You quickly took the opportunity to advance to the left with the stick in his right hand, smashing the zombies, killing both of them. The 2 zombies' corpses got stuck in the door, foul blood flowing. The rancid stench filled the entire room, making it unbearable. The corpses crowded the entrance, with the 3 zombie corpses blocking the entrance, 2 more packing on each side. 2 zombie stick their head in. You quickly trample on the head of a zombie and use his novice stick to kill it. White Bones used his axe to kill the other one. Another zombie was trying to get through the window. It had gotten just partially through before you stride forward and smash in the head. After killing the zombie, a ball of white light flew into your body. Voice sounded in his mind. "You have advanced to level 3. Please assign the 2 stat points." Power, stamina. You, heavily panting, made the selection. Fighting the zombies had greatly decreased his stamina. There's not enough power that he wanted to knock the zombie's head crooked, so he had to use more stamina. Between his thoughts, a trickle of warmth flow through your body began to strengthen his body. Chapter 5. Apple of Vitality. Chapter 5. Apple of Vitality. After the small stream disappeared, you felt that he has become a bit stronger. The other side, White Bones with his axe hack off the head of another zombie. A faint light flashing. In its place, a chest armor condensed out of the palm-sized piece of bone. It grew another level. Its growth is fast. You took a look at White Bones and thought. Each time White Bones level, his 6 attributes have increased again, while you could only increase 2 attributes. Both increased, but White Bones was 3 times of his. After leveling, White Bones has gotten even stronger. It waved its large bone axe and easily slay the remaining 2 zombies. The zombie attach seems to have stopped. All the zombies have died, and you was able to let out a sigh of relief. Enduring the stench from the corpses, you put on some gloves and look for those black life coin. Right now, those life coin were of no use, but you believe they will prove essential in the future. You, having done all this, immediately went back to sit down before the window, quietly trying to restore his stamina. Can't stay here too long. You inspected the room and frowned. Here in this small room lies more than 10 headless corpses. Foul blood flowing, foul smelling, is not a place a person can stay. After the fierce battle, your mouth felt dry and thirsty. You did not dare drink the tap water in the dormitory. He did not know if the virus was in the water. He would eventually die if he stayed here. You quietly rested for 10 minutes, his stamina slowly recover from 4 points to 7 points. It took another 20 minutes for his stamina to recover to 8 points. It seems like the speed of recovery of his stamina is not a fixed value. The lower it is, the harder to fully recover. You have been observing his stamina recovery, quietly contemplate. You stood up, look out again. This time the calm has been restored within the campus. Students and school staff were either infected or had found a place to hide. The zombies were staggering all over the campus. Most of the zombies around the male dormitory were attracted to Chen gang group of 6, leaving a large empty area. Among the empty areas, only a few scattered zombies blankly standing there. Climb down. You looked at those zombies and order White Bones. White Bone, flashing those soul fire, put the bone axe in his back and agilely climbed down the rope put there by you. White Bones landed, let out a sound, and the silence of the area is very loud. 4 daft-looking zombies suddenly turned around and walked unsteadily towards White Bones. After White Bones' landing, you, carrying a big camping backpack, quickly climbed down the rope. Seeing the 4 zombies staggering over, White Bones advanced forward and, swinging his axe, cut off a zombie head, sending it flying. You quickly went behind a zombie, used the novice stick to smash its head, knocking it crookedly to the side. In the open space, one-on-one battle. As long as you do not fear the zombie virus, even ordinary humans can beat the zombie. Slow movement is the biggest weakness of the zombies. The 2 remaining zombies had just gotten close to you when White Bone easily beheaded them with his bone axe. After leveling twice, as long as it not besieged by dozens of zombies, White Bones can easily slay one of the zombies. Advance in that direction. You pointed towards the small supermarket and ordered White Bones, quickly rushing in that direction. White Bone received the order from you. Holding the large bone axe, quickly rushed towards the small supermarket. He was trying hard to catch up from behind. At this time, the 2 sides' difference in stats has been revealed. With 12 points in agility, White Bone's speed was a bit faster than you. Only after a bit has already left it behind. You and White Bones running quickly on the street generated a sound and attracted the attention of the zombies around. They soon staggered towards that direction from the side. The zombies' speed was too slow compared to you and White Bones, but dozens of zombies were chasing them from behind. It gave a feeling of great pressure. If surrounded by the zombies, you would not survive. The small supermarket in the school has 4 zombies wandering around it. Heard the running sound, stagger towards them. White Bones charged towards a zombie, swinging his axe. Soon a zombie was sent flying. 2 zombies took the opportunity to jump White Bones, clawing him randomly. White Bones brought his axe up and, swinging it down, beheading the 2 zombies one by one. By the time he got to the small supermarket, White Bones had slayed all the zombies around. Amazing! Looking down at the fragmented body of the corpses in front of White Bones, cannot help but envy. White Bones, being an undead, was without fear of the zombie virus. If he was surrounded by 4 zombies, there was no way he could easily slay them. The novice stick in his hand is hard enough, but not sharp enough, much less sharp than the bone axe in White Bones' hand. You focus his eyes. What is that? He saw a red apple among the zombie corpses. That red apple was wrapped in a pouch, so it was not stained with zombie blood. You quickly picked up the red apple and 4 life coin, then rushed into the small supermarket. Apple of Vitality. After eating, in non-combat state, able to restore 4 points of stamina within 5 minutes. Can sell for 15 life coin. You, glancing at the apple, saw the information in his head. Nice one. You quickly put the apple in his pocket, quickly dashed into the supermarket. Inside the supermarket, 2 of the employees that had become zombies was beheaded by White Bones. You burst into the supermarket to look around, but did not find anything strange. Immediately rushed to the shelves with candy, chocolate, and high-calorie food, sweeping them into his mountaineering backpack. These high-calorie foods can provide him the energy needed for the day. Taking all the candies, chocolate, and biscuits, you want to stuff a few packets of instant noodles into his backpack. Also, 3 large bottles of purified water. His backpack was now stuffed full. Chapter 6. Level 1 Protective Garment. Chapter 6. Level 1 Protective Garment. So heavy. You weigh his backpack and frown, took 2/3 of the items out and put on the ground. This small supermarket is not a place to stay long. All around the supermarket is made with ordinary glass. It cannot stop the zombies. Only those large supermarket may be able to withstand the force of the zombies. You wants to escape from the school, but having adequate strength is essential. Carrying heavy stuff will affect his stamina. Earlier, when you had level, he had increased power and stamina, all in order to be able to escape to a safe place. You picked up the large water bottle and drank a few mouthful of water, casually tossed the bottle, and rushed outside. White Bones was outside guarding the entrance. 20 zombies staggered toward you, bringing a huge, oppressive feeling. Looking at the group of 20 zombies, you frowned. 20 zombies huddled together. The room to maneuver is hinder. He cannot force his way past. Help! Save us! At this moment, on top of the tree, Chun Gang shouted loudly. Attracted to the shout by Chun Gang, the 20 staggering zombies split it up, with 10 zombies staggering towards the direction of the 3 boys. By Chun Gang's side, a boy named Sun Yu complained. Chun Gang, are you crazy? Leading the monsters over again? Chun Gang asked. I'm not crazy. There's so many zombies below. If no one come to rescue us, how long can we stay up on this tree? You can escape from the encirclement of the pack of zombies? Sun Yu immediately became silent. The zombies are slow, but there are too many. Throughout the entire campus is dotted with these dangerous undead, making it impossible to escape. Even more frightening is that most people know as long as the zombie scratches the skin, it will get infected and become a new zombie with no cure. After the 10 zombies separated, the pressure on you had greatly lessened. Whitebone took a long stride forward, swinging his axe and beheading the first zombie, sending the head flying. You followed, right behind Whitebones commanded. Cut off their left arm, Whitebones. Whitebones slaying the zombies mean you cannot get any experience to get stronger. Only when he personally killed the zombies will he be able to level and get stronger. Whitebones received the command, took a step forward, swinging his axe and cut down the left arm of a zombie. You came forward wielding his novice stick and firmly smashed the zombie head, breaking the zombie to the side. Amazing! Hiding in the trees above, Chun Gang saw you and Whitebones working together to slay the zombies. His eyes flashing a faint praise. Back! After killing 2 zombies, you shouted toward Whitebones. At this point, the remaining 8 zombies has slowly gathered around. Once surrounded, you would be killed. After the sound, you and Whitebones suddenly and rapidly escaped the encirclement of the zombies. 8 zombies continue to stagger towards the 2 of them. Advancing forward, the speed of the 8 zombies can be divided into fast and slow. A zombie burst out. Go! Its left arm! You shouted an order. Whitebones quickly stepped forward using his axe to cut off the zombie left arm. You took the opportunity to use his novice stick and smashed the zombie head askew. After killing the zombie, Whitebones and you retreated and once again distanced themselves from the small group of corpses. Just like this, the zombie was slain by Whitebones, and you working together, this small group was soon dealt with by you and Whitebones. You have advanced to level 4. Please assign the 2 stats point. When after you finish off the last zombie, that nice leveling message appeared in his ear. Assigned to power and stamina. You heavily panting, ordered. Slaying the 10 zombies, he had used up a lot of stamina, and only has 3 points left. A surge of warmth flow inside your body, and he once again gotten stronger. In front of you, Whitebones had also been promoted to level 4, and its overall strength is now 30% stronger than the average person. You killing the 10 zombies has caused some commotion. The 3 zombies scattered nearby, staggered towards him, killed him, then come back on guard. You took a glance at the 3 zombies and ordered Whitebones. He was very tired and needed to rest and recover stamina. Whitebone received the order, advanced forward, using his axe and easily slaying the 2 zombies. Hey, what's that? When after Whitebones killed the last zombie, a 30 centimeters long white box came out from the zombie body, lying quietly beside the zombie. You saw and immediately walked over and picked up the white box. White treasure box. Inside of this treasure box, there may be treasure you can use, but there may be nothing. Gamble on your luck. You just picked up the box. A message appeared in his head. Without hesitation, you immediately opened the white box, a white light flashing. A white garment appeared in front of him. Level protective garment, able to block 3 preliminary infection, level 5 and under. Cannot resist the preliminary infection above level 5. Bonus, power +1, agility +1, vitality +1, stamina +1, spirit +1, strength +1. Can wear with other protective garment. No stacking of bonus. Durability 3/3. Selling to the system store will get 50 life coin. Nice one. You quickly put on the protective garment. This protective garment is the equivalent to improving 10% of a normal person was able to fend off 3 zombie attacks, equivalent of 3 lives. You fighting a zombie one-on-one still had to be careful. The slightest mistakes will become infected. With this protect garment, he only needs to be careful not to be surrounded by zombies. Equivalent to having 3 more lives. The white protective garment suit his body size just right. Putting on the protective garment, you glance over at the tree, put up a thumb, and retreated into the small supermarket to have a rest. Gang, what does he mean? Why did he retreated into the supermarket? Sun Yu, looking at you retreating into the supermarket, asked in wonder. Gang speculated. Maybe he used up too much stamina. Fighting will drain your stamina. Simply cannot be sustained for long. You retreated into the supermarket, was alert and observing the surrounding environment while resting quietly. Chapter 7. Small Supermarket. Chapter 7. Small Supermarket. You had gotten rid of all the zombies around the small supermarket. The only one left were the 16 zombies hovering around the tree. After wearing the protective garment, Yu's stamina had reached 13 points. He only rested for 5 minutes. His stamina had recovered from 4 points to 7 points. You continue to rest for 20 minutes, but it has not increased even by 1. Fighting for so long, my body is already tired. My stamina is still too low. You frowned, quietly thought. He received high-intensity combat today. Even though strengthened, his recovery is limited. I can only use this apple. You took out the apple of vitality and bit it. A stream of sweet and delicious apple juice went into your mouth, flow into his body. You finished the apple of vitality after just a couple bites, a cool stream flowing into his body and fixes his weary body. 5 minutes later, under that cool trickle of nourishment, his tired body gradually restored. Stamina rises to 12 points. Resting completed, you soon emerge from the small supermarket along with White Bones. He is out. Sun Yu, seeing you emerged, immediately excited, said to Gang. Gang saw you. His eyes flashed a hint of excitement and worry. If you did not rescue them and choose to leave on his own, they have no way. You saw the 16 zombies surrounding the tree, waving a can of beer, and threw it to the ground. Clang! The loud sound quickly reverberated in the area. The 16 zombies under the tree quickly looked back and stagger over. Let's go. White Bones. You firmly hold his novice stick next to White Bones. Receiving the order from you, White Bones rushed towards the 16 zombies. 10 seconds later, White Bones reached a zombie. Swinging his axe, a zombie head was sent flying. After easily killing a zombie, 3 zombies from one side rushed over towards White Bones. You came and fiercely smashed the stick on the zombie head, causing the head to be twisted to one side. Then kicked another zombie, sending it to the ground. You, after wearing the protective garment, has become more bold. Without the protective garment, he would absolutely not kick the body of the zombie, because the slightest mistake would cause him to be scratched and he would die. White Bones swinging his axe, casually sending the zombie head flying. After reaching level 4, the overall strength of White Bones has improved by 30%. With significantly improved combat, the most discerning was his quick reaction. You took a long stride forward, smashing the zombie head with the stick, knocking the zombie head crooked. In just a couple of breaths, 4 zombies were down from the combined effort of you and White Bones. After killing the 4 zombies, you and White Bones retreated back, The remaining 12 zombies formed a circle. They fiercely rushed to the left for an assault. The assault killed 3 zombies, and then they quickly retreated again. After a few assaults, the waves of slow zombies was soon dispatched by the combined effort of you and Whitebones. Amazing. Didn't think the school was hiding someone so strong. Looking at you and Whitebones, whom easily kill those zombies, Chen Gang on the tree sighs slowly. Sun Yu and another boy Wang Shuang nodded. After getting rid of the wave of zombies, Yu's stamina had decreased by 3 points, down to 9 points. After increasing his strength and stamina, his battle endurance has grown. After cleaning out the corpses, Yu quickly collected the life coin scatter on the ground. Seeing that all the surrounding zombies has been eliminated by Yu, the 3 boys agilely climb down the tree. Hello, classmate. I am Chen Gang, a third-year student. Chen Gang climbed down the tree and came over to introduce himself to you. I am Sun Yu, also a third-year student. I am Wang Shuang, also a third-year student. Sun Yu and Wang Shuang also came to Yu's side and introduced themselves. You thanked Chen Gang said, I am Yu Zhong. Thank you for earlier. Earlier Chen Gang had helped you by drawing away half the zombies. Thanks to that, you was able to defeat the first wave of zombies. Otherwise, he can only escape and not be able to get rid of all the zombies. The most terrifying thing about zombies isn't personal strength, but its infection and numbers. With just 20 zombies, it would be very hard to deal with. Although they can be killed, the consumption of stamina and concentration. Why so modest? I still haven't thanked you for saving us. Chen Gang heartily laughed, and then pointed at Whitebones and asked, You, where did you get that? Sun Yu and Wang Shuang also had a look of envy toward you because of the special skeleton Whitebones next to him. They'd just say how powerful Whitebones was. With just one strike, it easily slay a zombie. Let's go inside and talk. This is no place to talk. You looked around, pointed at the small supermarket, and said to the 3 of them, The zombies nearby has already been dealt with by you and Whitebones. But in the school he feared there are more than 1,000 zombies. They were not yet safe. Chen Gang group of 3 nodded, quickly followed you into the small supermarket. Entering the small supermarket, Sun Yu took a beer, opened it, and fiercely chugged it down, then let out a long sigh of relief, carelessly said, Phew, finally survived. I was so thirsty. You glanced at Sun Yu, frowning slightly. It was still not safe. Besides communication that is need, he did not want to make needless sounds. Chen Gang took a sip of water, came to Yu's side, pointed to Whitebones, and continued asking, You, how did you get this thing? Can you tell us? Sun Yu and Wang Shuang also looked at you, their eyes full of desire. This sudden change to zombie-ridden world, everyone know that only those that are strong can survive. You staring at Chen Gang asked, Did you hear the voice that claimed to be God? I heard it. Chen Gang said, I heard it too. I also heard it. Sun Yu and Wang Shuang also said. You slowly said, After I killed a zombie, from the body of the zombie, a skill book dropped. After using the skill from a skill book, can you summon your first skeleton? This wasn't something to hide. In order to escape, having more power was better. Chapter 8. Qing Wu. Chapter 8. Qing Wu. You words had hardly faded. Sun Yu eagerly asked, You killed so many zombies. Do you have any extra skill books? Give us a copy. We can also help you kill zombies. No. You glimpse at Sun Yu, lightly said. Not continuing on the subject, you look at the 3, continue to say. Using the novice staff to kill enough zombies can help you get physical enhancement. You look at the hands of the 3, asked, Where is your novice staff? Threw it away when we were escaping. Chen Gang said, a bit ashamed. Sun Yu and Wang Shuang were also ashamed. A novice staff 1 meter long, weight several kilograms, while escaping was trash, so would not bring it with them. Hearing that using the novice staff and killing zombie can make them stronger, Chen Gang, Sun Yu, and Wang Shuang were full of regrets for discarding their novice staff. Can any of you 3 drive? You asked. The road exiting the school have more than 30 zombies wandering. You and Whitebones can slowly get rid of the zombies, but the stamina consumption would not be small. Only by taking the school bus can they smash through the zombies' blockade. I know how to drive. Chen Yao and Sun Yu shook their head, while Wang Shuang suddenly said. Staring at Wang Shuang, you continue to ask, can you drive a school bus? Wang Shuang looked at you and said, I have only driven a car, haven't driven a school bus yet, but I think their principles should be the same. You thought for a moment, said, it seems like that's the only choice. We have to go get a school bus. Sun Yu opened his mouth and protested. That is too dangerous. Outside is full of zombies. Why don't we hide in here? As you can see, there's water and food. The surrounding zombies have been dealt with. As long as we hide here, absolutely do not have to worry about water and food. Zombies are only undead. If confronted by a modern army, they are absolutely no match. We can just wait here for the army to rescue us. Is that not better? Although you had level 3 times, but not strong to the point of not fearing any zombies, if he is faces with dozens of zombies and needs to avoid them. There are over 1,000 zombies around the campus. The slightest mistake will die. Sun Yu does not want to take big risks. Chen Yao and Wang Shuang also quiet down. People are fearful, if given a choice, who would choose to take the risks and not choose a safe place to hide. A small supermarket with water and food, with the surrounding zombies dealt with by you and White Bones, is an ideal shelter. All right, you guys stay here, I will go out. You eyed the 3, shouldered his backpack, and marched outside. Even though you saved the 3 of them, but he did not have the power to tell them what to do. If the other side is not willing to act together with him, he will not force them. You and White Bones had just walked out of the small supermarket. A surge of fear quickly struck the heart of the 3. Without a strong defender, in this zombie world, their future feel very bleak. Had I known that, I would have learned to drive better. Out of the small supermarket, you look at the direction of the school bus parking lot, a slight smile on his face. His family was poor, naturally don't have the extra money to learn how to drive. It seems I can only rely on myself. Hopefully the key is inside. You took a deep breath, immediately head toward the top of a ramp. The school bus had stopped at the top of the ramp. Yinhua University school bus quality is good, can easily run through something like zombies. Ordinary cars cannot do it. On top of that ramp, 8 zombies were staggering around. Heard the sound of you and White Bones' footsteps. The 8 zombies immediately staggered towards them. White Bones leading, charged forward, swinging his axe and cutting a zombie in 2. He was also not weaker, quickly head forward, swing his novice staff, and smash a zombie head, sending it crooked to the side. His power had increased by 4 points, had increased by more than 40%. Killing the zombies was more easy. 1 person, 1 skeleton, was unhindered, soon killed the 8 zombies. You had used up 1 stamina point. You have advanced to level 5. Please assign the 2 stats points. After killing the 8 zombies, heard a soft sound, came the sweet sound of leveling. Distribute 2 points to stamina immediately. You decided quickly. Without sufficient stamina, you cannot fight for long. Stamina, good for fighting and fleeing. If not strong enough, just fighting for a while, there is no stamina left. A warm stream surged through your body. His consumed stamina has been restored and also had increased. Location of the school bus is near the basketball court. On the basketball court, dozens of men have been turned into zombies. When you and White Bones were fight the 8 zombies, the zombies on near the basketball court were attracted to the sound and staggered over. You glanced at the dozens of zombies, then looked at the school bus, saw that no one was on the school bus, immediately rushed to it. Damn it, no car keys. You got in the school bus and found out that there was no keys. Rummaging around for a moment, you quickly jumped out of the bus. At this time, dozens of zombies had staggered towards you. In addition to the basketball courts, in the nearby residential area, there are more than 10 zombies attracted to the sounds, staggered towards you. Break through it. You glance at the dozens of zombies with the desire to retreat. So many zombies. Even if you use up all his stamina to fight the zombies, it's impossible to kill them all. At the same time, a girl with smooth, long black hair, wearing jeans, holding the novice staff in her hand, rushed over from the side. Seeing the girl, in jeans moving like whirlwind, Swordsmanship exquisite. The staff in her hands like a snake hit the head of a zombie, causing the zombie head to tilt to one side. The zombies that were attacked by the girl in jeans was like grass scattered all around. None of the zombies can touch the girl. Follow me quickly. The girl rushed to Yu's side and said to him, Qing Wu, could she be? Yu looked at the girl, an idea crossed his mind, and followed the girl rushing away. Chapter 9. Small Fireball. Chapter 9. Small Fireball. Yu, Qing Wu, and White Bones. The three together fought while running toward a pavilion on the lake. The pavilion has a narrow pathway that only one person can pass, surrounded by water. It was an easily defensible fortress against zombies. Fleeing to the pavilion, White Bones stood in the middle of the pathway. The zombies that was attracted to them were chopped by the axe, sending their head flying. By himself in the narrow pathway, the zombies were no match for White Bones. Qing Wu eyed Yu. Using a seductive voice, asked him, Hello there. I'm Qing Wu. Classmate, may I ask what is your name? Yu looked at Qing Wu and gave a slight chuckle. Sister, my name is Zhong. I think inside the school those that do not know you are rare. In front of the girl who has smooth, glossy black shoulder-length hair, an exquisitely pretty face, tall and buxom, eyes black and white, skin white as white jade, is recognized as the most beautiful in Yunhua University, Qing Wu. Over a year ago at the New Year's party, Qing Wu performed a sword dance at Yunhua University. Most of the people were totally entranced by this pretty and beautiful girl. She also became the lover in most of the boys' dream at the university. It is said that many wealthy sons outside the school also came in luxury car to find her. Although you did not pay too much attention to this aspect, but because of the stunning sword dance at the New Year's party that he recognized her. You did not think that the stunning and exquisite Qing Wu would have such courage to fight those zombies, and yet so powerful. Qing Wu glanced at White Bones and asked directly, It is an ability that you got. You nodded and replied, Yes. Qing Wu, with a pair of big eyes, stared at you, earnestly said, I need your help. Please accompany me in a trip to the girls' dormitory. My friend is trapped in the dormitory. Can you please go with me to save her? Inside the girls' dormitory, there are a lot of zombies wandering around. Qing Wu, though powerful, cannot by herself alone kill so many zombies to save her friend. You nodded and made a request. No problem. However, sister, I also have a buddy to save. So after things are more stable, I hope you can help me save him. Does not know what kind of ability Qing Wu obtained, but even with just her superb practical swordsmanship, it is already the best companion. With this mutated world, Qing Wu is one of the best companion. Yes. Qing Wu nodded and replied, Did you have a good rest here? If there are no problem, then please follow me. 10 minutes later, Qing Wu asked you. You stood up and said, Good, let's go. Yu's stamina has been restored to 10 points, is able to fight for a long time. Qing Wu, holding the novice staff in hand, quickly went out. On the pathway, there were a body of headless zombies everywhere. More than 10 zombies that were attracted by Yu, and Qing Wu was killed by White Bones. White Bones was faster than Yu, and already gotten a level 6, his stats was once again increased. Qing Wu looked at White Bones, then smiled at Yu and said, This ability of yours is really useful. White Bones is an undead with superior fighting ability. His ability to fight continuously was greater than Yu and Qing Wu. Great! Yu smiled, walking among the corpses, began collecting the life coin and see if there was an items. This is a skill book. Suddenly Yu's eyes lit up. On one side of the pile of corpses, quietly lay a book. He immediately steps forward and picked up the book. Level 1 skill book, Small Fireball. Can release a small fireball to attack the enemy. This skill was a demon profession that a mage practiced. Before upgrading the skill to level 2, can only release the skill once every 3 days. Sell for 100 life coins. This skill is not suited for me. You picked up the skill book. Quickly a thought flashed. Qing Wu came to take a look and asked you, What is this skill book? You raised the skill book and asked Qing Wu. Level 1 skill book, Small Fireball. You want it? Qing Wu looked at the skill book in your hand, shook her head, and said, "No need, let's go." You put the skill book in his backpack, straightened the stuff, and immediately followed Qing Wu towards the outside. Qing Wu, and White Bones leaving the pavilion not too long when the zombies wandering in the neighborhood immediately staggered towards the three of them. "Charge!" Qing Wu shouted, as if a whirlwind was heading toward the zombies in front of her. If it did not break through the 12 zombies in front, they wouldn't be able to reach the girls' dormitory. Qing Wu's speed was very quick. Taking a long stride forward, she put some distance from you. Apparently her agility is not low. "White Bones, forward!" You order White Bones. Having received the command from you, an inflamed soul flashed in White Bones' magical eyes, quickly moving up like a god of war rushing past Qing Wu towards the group of zombie. Raising his axe like a tornado cut down a zombie head, sending the head flying high, foul blood splattering. This skeleton is amazing. Qing Wu looked at White Bones as he passed her and reached the group of zombies. A bit of surprise flashed in her eyes. She immediately followed close to the side of White Bones, a novice staff in hand like a snake strike, quickly smashing into the zombie head in front. You soon arrived, using his novice staff, smashed the head of the zombie crooked to the side. The trio, working together, soon killed 8 of the 12 zombies blocking their way and rushed past. "Hurry!" Qing Wu glanced at the 8 zombie bodies, then continued dashing forward. The zombies are encircling them. Once surrounded, the trio will die there. The apple of vitality? Great! He was about to leave when he suddenly saw the vibrant apple falling next to a corpse, so he bent down and picked up the apple and quickly head forward. The trio broke through the wave of zombies and killed 6 zombies wandering around, then rushed to the girls' dormitory. In front of the girls' dormitory, 10 of the zombies standing outside quickly turned and staggered towards the trio. What a pity! You looked at the 10 female zombies. Their young and lively face have been bitten ragged, looking extremely wretched. Originally, these girls are supposed to enjoy their life as young university students, but now has become zombies that only know how to eat human flesh. White Bones did not have emotion like you. Came forward, swinging its axe and chopping off a female zombie head, sending it flying. Qing Wu, like a whirlwind, head into the group of zombies, using her novice staff like a snake, strike the head of a zombie, causing it to be askew. You also penetrated the group, very neatly slaying the zombies. Chapter 10. The Girls' Dormitory. Chapter 10. The Girls' Dormitory. The trio, working together, soon killed all the zombies surrounding the girls' dormitory. You quickly rushed into the security room of the girls' dormitory, took a bunch of keys and a lock, then ran out to the gate of the girls' dormitory, locking it with a lock. Outside the girls' dormitory, there are about 100 zombies walking unsteadily by. Those zombies were attracted to the commotion caused by you and Qing Wu. Compared to the boys' dormitory, Yinhua University girl dormitory was built more carefully and looked better. The boys' dormitory doors are thin, tattered wooden doors, while the girls' dormitory door are made from aluminum. Therefore, the defense was better than the boys' dormitory. That is because Yinhua University had an extremely bad case of burglary. In order to protect the safety of the girls, in the aftermath of that event, all the girls' dormitory wooden doors were replaced by aluminum. In the girls' dormitory, the zombies heard the noise outside, staggered out from the rooms. Many of the zombies were stuck at the door, constantly banging against it. When the end of the world occurred, many were resting in the afternoon, so there were quite a few room door that was closed. But even so, there were still over 20 zombies that staggered out from the rooms. Outside the dormitory, nearly 100 zombies was surrounding the area. The situation was extremely dire. If completely surrounded by zombies, the trio would die by the bites of the zombies. Follow me. Qing Wu looked at the surrounding zombies heading towards their direction and quickly rushed up the stairs. You and White Bones closely followed behind Qing Wu up the stairs. In the stairs, there were a couple zombies wandering around. Qing Wu Yu, and White Bones all rushed forward, in just a blink of the eye slaughter all the zombies. Qing Wu had just reached the third floor. All of a sudden, four zombies suddenly showed up in the stairwell, wildly rushed towards Qing Wu. The four zombies completely blocked the stairway up. Qing Wu is unable to avoid them. Qing Wu uses her snake-like strike to smash the zombie in the head, smashing it to the side. The remaining three zombies unabated pounce towards Qing Wu. She is unable to avoid them. Seeing that Qing Wu was about to be caught the three zombies, White Bones swung his axe like a cyclone coming through, crushing a zombie head like paste. Yu also took a long stride forward, smashing his staff onto the head of a zombie, causing it to twist to the side, at the same time hitting Qing Wu, knocking her to the ground. The remaining zombie viciously clawed Yu's left arm, his sleeve completely ripped. His left arm was almost broken by the power of the zombie. That female zombie was so close to Yu. He could smell the rancid odor coming from the zombie body. The female zombie, with her tattered face from being bitten, made Yu want to barf. He did not want to turn into that. Yu brutally kicked the female zombie in the abdomen. His strength from leveling erupted, sending the zombie flying 2 meters. White Bones stepped forward, with his axe chopping at the female zombie head, killing it. Right as the female zombie died, a white treasure box appeared next to its body. Qing Wu quickly got up from the ground. With a pale face came towards Yu, her worried face looking at his injured left arm. "Yu, are you all right?" The most scary thing about fighting against zombies is that with just a little scratch, the person will get infected and turn into a zombie with no cure. "It's all right. I'm wearing a protective garment. It can fend off the zombie attack 3 times. Yu pale face slowly said. This was the most dangerous moment he experienced. If he didn't have the protective garment, at this time would already be infected. Qing Wu, with pure eyes, looked at Yu, solemnly thanked him. "Thank you for saving my life, Yu. This kindness, I will find a way to repay you. Go look for your friends. We do not have time." Yu looked at the surrounding, quickly grabbed the white treasure box, and put it in his backpack. Behind them, the female zombies are walking towards them. In the rooms on the 3rd floor, there are also female zombies staggering out. Qing Wu, not dragging her feet, took a stride forward with an explosive strike, killed 2 zombies, before rushing to room 304 and said, "Chen Yao, it's Qing Wu. I'm here to save you. Open the door." "Qing Wu, it's you? You came. Quickly move the stuff away." In that room, suddenly there came a cry of joy and the rustling sound of things being moved around. At this point on the 3rd floor, the zombies were coming out more and more. "I'm going to take care of them for a bit. Watch this place." You, seeing that the zombie numbers were growing, his eyes flashed a grim look, turned toward Qing Wu, and said, "The zombies were growing in numbers. If he didn't kill some now, it would be too difficult to take care of them later." Qing Wu eyed flash with a light, came toward you, with a smile said, "I will go with you." "Okay." You nodded, along with White Bones strode forward, rushing towards those zombies. Qing Wu followed behind the two. The trio together kill each zombie that was heading towards the 3rd floor. Amazing! A round-faced girl looked out from within, seeing Qing Wu, Yu, and White Bones continuing to kill the zombies. Her eyes flashed with admiration. There were over 100 zombies on the 3rd floor of the dormitory. After a while, the trio felt their stamina continuously being consumed, causing their body to feel heavy. Yu, having strengthened himself a couple times, reluctantly endured it. But Qing Wu was already dripping with sweat, breathing heavily, was not as powerful as before. Her speed has slowed a lot, and several times came close to being captured by the zombies. "Qing Wu, come over here." At this critical moment, Chen Yao's dormitory door finally opened. Chen Yao, sticking her head out, shouted loudly towards Qing Wu. The trio soon rushed into the dorm, quickly shutting the door. With the door shut, the 4 girls immediately pushed a computer desk, a small table, and cabinets on top to block the door. Entering the dorm, Qing Wu sat on a bed, panting heavily, sweats like rain falling on the ground. The fighting earlier was too fierce, draining all her stamina. If he was not there to help, she absolutely could not have made it up to the girls' dorm. Chapter 11. Chen Yao. Chapter 11. Chen Yao. You sat on one of the girls' bed, closed his eyes, sweating profusely. Though he is stronger than Qing Wu, the fierce battle with the zombies has consumed most of his stamina. At this time, only 4 points of stamina left. Right now in the girls' dorm, in addition to Qing Wu, there are 4 other girls. The 4 girls are very curious, looking at the Yu and White Bones standing next to him. Just a moment ago, Yu and White Bones rushed into the group of zombies, not letting them get to the girls' dorm, because the scene too engraved in their mind. At this time, a sweet scent drifted over, a girl wearing jeans, white t-shirt with long hair. A beautiful and vibrant girl walked over towards you with a slight chuckle. Hello, my name is Chen Yao. Classmate, what is your name, please? You looked up at Chen Yao, slowly said, My name is Yu Zhong. Chen Yao is a celebrity at Yunhua University. She is herself as pretty, sweet, can sing and dance, is one of the school's beauty. Her sweet smile has charmed quite a few of the boys at Yunhua University. Chen Yao looked at you with a smile, said, Thank you for coming to save us with Qing Wu. You lightly said, You're welcome. You hello. I am Zhang Xian. A pale-skinned, cute girl with a baby walked towards you to introduce herself. Hello, I'm Kai Xiao, a short-hair girl that appeared very competent and beautiful head over to introduce herself to you. A tall girl with make on, dressing stylishly and attractive, walked over in front of him, with a sweet smile said, Hello, I'm Wang Fong. You are really powerful, even dare to fight those zombies. You with a wry smile. I'm not that powerful. I was forced to. If possible, you did not want to fight the zombies. Fighting with zombies are dangerous. Only even a little scratch can get infected. Done speaking, you opened his backpack. Inside was chocolate, candies, and drinks. He took out a bottle of water and took a big gulp. Such a long battle has caused him to sweat a lot and needed to rehydrate. Even at the most critical moment, you did not his backpack filled with supplies away. With the supplies, even if he is stuck in one place for 3 days, you can still keep fighting. Seeing that in the backpack was chocolate, candies, and drinks, the 4 girls' eyes brightly lit up. It was already late in the afternoon. In the room, the girls were fearful, constantly moving the heavy objects, using up most of their stamina, and was now starving. Just that in the past, the 4 girls were prideful, so they were embarrassed to ask you for his supplies. Water, chocolate, said Qing Wu without hesitation to you. You quickly, without saying anything, toss over a can of Coke and 4 chocolate bars to Qing Wu. Qing Wu was strong. In this world, someone that you can count on a fight was good. Chen Yao, with her outgoing nature, directly asked you, You are also thirsty. Can you give us something to drink, please? You hesitated a bit. From his backpack, took out a can of Coke and 4 chocolate, gave it to Chen Yao, and said, You guys shared it. I don't have a lot of supplies. Thank you, you. Chen Yao politely thanked you. Then, holding the can and 4 chocolate bars, walked towards the other 3 girls. In his mind, Qing Wu really is more important than us. Eating chocolate, Chen Yao looked over at you, quietly thought. Seeing you distribution of supplies, Chen Yao's sensitive mind quickly calculated the degree of importance the girl in the dorm was. High-calories food like chocolate is something these girls generally eat very little of, but now they know that it is different from before. To be able to eat and drink is already good. At this moment, outside the girls' dorm, the zombies were banging against the door, causing the entire dormitory to shake with incessant tremors. Losing you and Qing Wu oppression, the zombies of the entire 3 floors have gathered together and began to attack the dorm, attempting to break into the room. The 4 girls started to gather behind you and White Bones. Although the door was made from steel, but it was uncertain when those zombies would break through. Even Qing Wu was strong, but she can't give the strong sense of security like you and White Bones. After all, she's a girl and only one person, significantly weaker than you after repeated leveling. Big Sis Qing Wu, what do we do? The baby-faced Zhang Xian looked at Qing Wu and timidly asked. Qing Wu frowned, striding toward the dormitory door, looked far out the window. Seeing outside the door, there was no less than 30 zombies. The numbers was not small, completely blocking the way out. There was no area to maneuver. To fight in this environment was suicide. Do you have any good idea? Qing Wu turned and asked you. You also came to the door to look out the window, watching the swarming zombies, and wrinkled his eyebrows. In such a crowded environment, the zombies were packed to the limit. Even the strongest out of them, white bones, will be brought down. You quickly turned and went to the window behind him to look. In the rear of the girls' dormitory, only a couple zombies were wandering around. Observing the terrain, you then walked toward the girls and said, "From here out is not difficult, but the hard part is how to escape from the school and the ability to live out there. Right now, the whole world is full of zombies. If there are no safe havens, might as well stay here. Do you have a safe place out there? For example, self-contained villas or residential units. Villa and residential units away from the city center. Otherwise, we should not rush out." You looked at the girls and asked. Chen Yao looked at you and said, "My house is in the Garden District neighborhood. I have a set of house keys. Can we go?" "We can." You nodded. The Garden District is nearby Yunhua University. This place was a college town, away from the city center, only students, few others. It is an ideal hiding place. You look in the eyes of the four girls, with a deep voice asked, "Among you, who can drive?" "I'll drive." Chen Yao stood and said to you. "I also could drive." Wang Fong also stood up, looking toward you, demonstrating her abilities. She was very clear at this time. Only by showing her charm and capability can she have a better chance of survival. Chapter 12. Imitation Tang Sword. Chapter 12. Imitation Tang Sword. Driving the school bus is not a problem, right? You asked. What he needs is a person who drive the school bus. Chen Yao confidently said, "There is no problem. The key to the school bus, do you know where it is?" You continued to ask. Without the key, even if they found the bus, it would be useless. Chen Yao quickly said, "The school bus driver Zhang Xiao room is between the general office and academic affairs office. If nothing else, at those two places we should be able to find him." Chen Yao was the president of the student council, so she regularly had to deal with the leaders of the school. She often take the school bus to other places, so that is why she knows the room where the driver is staying. You open to the white treasure box that was inside his backpack, a light flashing. A sharp Tang sword appears in front of his eyes. Imitation Tang, sword level 1. Attack 5 to 8. This fine sword is very sharp, can easily cut through the head of a man. A great weapon against those that are infected. Great sword. With this fine sword, dealing with zombies will be even easier. You caressed the sharp Tang sword. An icy touch came from the metal of the Tang sword. You was often using the novice staff to smash the zombies, doing that will feel the recoil. With this imitation Tang sword in hand, you will be able to kill zombies easily. You took out the small fireball skill and gave it to Chen Yao and solemnly said, "You guys should have hear the sound. I'll tell you some information. If you kill enough zombies, you will level up and will be strengthened. That special skull is one of my skill. This is a skill book level 1, small fireball. On is how to use the skill. Chen Yao, I can give this skill book to you, but I want you to promise me that you are safe. Help me save one of my buddies." This small fireball skill to you was a second-rate skill, but if he can use it to enhance their own side strength, you would be stingy. Yu's only desire was to escape from here at this time and find his best friend. Though Chen Yao is very weak, fighting is not strong, but she was very capable and knew a lot. You would like to have such companions survive. Chen Yao is very decisive. In the eyes of the three other girls were jealousy and envy toward the person that took the skill book. Yes, I promise you that once safe, will certainly help you to find your best friend. A light flashing, the skill book turned into a beam of light and entered Chen Yao's body. It's magic. The sight of Zhang Xian, envious eyes watching Chen Yao. This was the first time that she saw someone receive such a skill. Really? Why did she get all the good stuff? Even God is blessing her. Wang Fong watched Chen Yao absorb the skill book, eyes filled with jealousy and hate. Chen Yao was not only very beautiful, and family is wealthy, and the university was the object of many boys' desire. Even though Wang Fong was a desirable girl, but in comparison to Chen Yao was far worse. She has been an envy and jealous of Chen Yao luck. Now that the world has begun to collapse, Chen Yao is also given a skill book by you, increasing her chances of survival, made Wang Fong even more jealous. How is it? Chen Yao, release the magic for us to see. Zhang Xian, right next to Chen Yao, curiously and pestering, said. Chen Yao had an eager look. She just got that kind of power, also wanted to know how strong her skill is. You quickly stopped them and said, no, in your current state, only be able to launch a fireball a day. Must only use it in a critical time. A fireball may be able to save their life in critical moment. You would never allow Chen Yao to indiscriminately use it. Chen Yao quickly calmed down, nodded and said, I know. You looked at Qing Wu and said, Qing Wu, how is your stamina recovery? Qing Wu, without the slightest concealment, toward you said, 6 points. My max stamina is 12 points. It is difficult to recover. It seems that my body is very tired. You guys stay here and watch. I will take a break and promptly go out looking for the keys. Qing Wu, call me in 5 minutes. You finished talking, then took out an apple of vitality, eating it in a few bit, then lay on the bed, closing his eyes. Doing that will make him recover better. Seeing you lay on the bed, baby-faced Zhang Xian quickly blushed and muttered in a low voice, that is my bed. You was too tired, head touching the pillow, fell asleep. Outside, those zombies were constantly hitting the dormitory door. Besides Qing Wu outside, the rest of the girls were huddled next to you, scared, not knowing when the door will break. 5 minutes later, Qing Wu nudged you and said, get up. 5 minutes passed. 5 minutes already? Way too fast. You open his eyes, look 8 Qing Wu, with a slightly wry smile said. He has been in intense battles since early afternoon. In spite of the nourishment from the apple of vitality, his stamina was back to 11 points. You quickly stood up from the bed, removing the climbing rope from the backpack and tied to a secure pole, then release it out the window. If you guys cannot stand it anymore, can escape from this place, you said to the girls, then quickly climbed down the rope. White Bones quickly followed suit and climbed down the rope after you. You just landed. Nearby, 4 zombies staggered towards him. You, with his Tang sword in hand, quickly rushed forward and swing the swords against the zombie head, instantly cutting off its head, foul blood splattering everywhere. Great sword, a sword cutting a zombie head, praising himself inside. The imitation Tang sword was much sharper than the staff. You using the imitation Tang sword to cut a zombie head required 50% less force than before, which means that he can use less power to kill more zombies. You, with the imitation Tang sword and White Bones' combined power, quickly slay the 4 zombies, immediately heading toward the direction of the general office and academic affairs. Seeing you emerge, the group of zombies began to move toward his direction, chasing after him. Chapter 13. Searching for the Keys. Chapter 13. Searching for the Keys. Following his assault, more and more zombies were gathering behind him, so dense that it looked extremely scary. You did not dare to stay in one place for even a moment. He and White Bones continued to charge forward, quickly killing the zombies that was in their way, not even having the time to pick up the life coins that were dropped by the zombies. You have been promoted to level 6. Please assign the 2 stats points. When you sword cut off a zombie head, a clear voice sounded in his minds. Assign 2 points to stamina. You, without hesitating, said it. At this time, his speed was far superior to those zombies. What he lacks the most is his stamina and the ability to fight the zombies for an extended time. A small stream flowing in Yu's body. He once again have strength in his body. After obtaining the enhancement, you let out a sigh of relief. Continue to rush towards the direction of the school building. On the way there, with White Bones leading, wildly killing any of the scattered zombies that got in their way. A person and a skeleton quickly cleared a path to the school building. The main members of the university were mostly students. In the vicinity of the general office, the zombies has now become few. You just entered the building when 3 zombies staggered towards him. You, wielding his long sword in hand, brilliantly beheaded the zombie, sending the head flying. White Bones, fast like an arrow, shot forward, with an axe easily cut off the zombie head. After the last zombie head fell to the ground, a white pair of shoes came out, falling next to the zombie body. You quickly stepped forward to pick up those white shoes. Level 1 Enhanced Footwear, Agility +3. Wearing this enhanced footwear will make your actions more agile. Durability 20/20ths. You receive the information from his sense. Quickly put on the pair of enhanced footwear. After putting on the white pair of shoes, felt as if his body was somewhat lighter. Use agility has reached 14 points at this time, 40% more than an average person. You putting on the enhanced shoes along with White Bones head forward. Help! Save us! Right after you passed the school business offices from the financial office came the sound of a cry for help. You quickly head toward the financial office to take a look. He saw that 4 men and 1 woman standing in that office, a total of 5 people. If you trust me, then follow behind me. You took a look and said to the people inside the financial office, continues to run in the direction of the general office. On this level, the only zombies left were the school staff. Following behind him basically is not dangerous. What now? Zhao Zhen. A guy wearing glasses said to the handsome young man beside him, dressed in brand name's clothes, with an elegant and fashionable look, holding a wooden staff. Zhao Zhen, looking at your direction, blinked a few times immediately after made the decision. Follow him. Staying, if no one rescue us, will only die. Zhao Zhen is a very decisive person. After making the decision, quickly opened the financial office door, stepped out the door and looked out. Amazing! Outside the door, Zhao Zhen saw you with the Tang sword in hand. Between a couple breaths, beheaded 2 zombies. The remaining people also followed behind Zhao Zhen and rushed out the door, immediately follow you. Too strong. When was such a fierce man hidden in our school? Zhao Zhen, seeing you beheading the zombies so smoothly, was filled with shock. Zhao Zhen was the president of the University Student Union. He had met all the influential men in the university, but he had never seen you before. So amazing. The people who rushed out of the financial office looked at you, easily killing the zombies. They were filled with joy. As long as they follow this fierce guy, their chance of survival will increase a lot. You rushed into the general office. Allow White Bones to continue to kill the zombies ahead, while he entered the general office. Upon entering general office, a plump figure, face and body bitten in many places, staggered towards you. Found it. You was filled with joy. He recognized that this fat man was the school bus driver, named Zhang Xiao. He took a step forward. A sword with a hint of chill directly cut off the head of Zhang Xiao. After killing Zhang Xiao, you put on a pair of rubber gloves and searched the corpse. Finally pulled a set of 3 keys. With keys in hand, you then quickly rushed out of the room, fled outside. At this time, White Bones, wielding his bone axe, killed all the zombies. Zhao Zhen group were huddled on the side, quietly watching all this. You looked at Zhao Zhen, in a deep voice said, I'm heading to the girls' dorm. Do you have any plans? The girls' dormitory from this office was only a few hundred meters away, but the road has many zombies. You by himself was fine, but with so many people cannot rush to the girls' dorm. Zhao Zhen, with a very look towards you, said, Fellow classmate, I am Zhao Zhen, is the student president at Yunhua University. What's your name, please? You said, My name is Yu Zhong. Zhao Zhen speculated. Why do you want to head to the girls' dorm? Your friends are there? Ui Zhao Zhen slowly said, That's right. There are many zombies on the road leading to the girls' dormitory, alone, unable to ensure the safety of all of you. There were 5 members in Zhao Zhen group, basically no combat ability. If sprinting toward the girls' dormitory, about half will die by the bite of the zombies. Zhao Zhen quickly said, I know that we will be stuck here in need of assistance. I believe you're going to leave this school. Before you leave this school, I hope you can come and take us with you. As long as you are able to do this for me, in the future, I will kindly repay you. You nodded. If I have spare capacity, we'll come back. Finally, I will tell you this information. Killing enough zombies, you will be able to level and get stronger. After leveling, you can strengthen yourself. If you have the courage to fight the zombies, you can become stronger and evolve. I'll go first. You left after finishing the sentence, rushed out quickly. Zhao Zhen, you believe his words. After you left, the guy wearing glasses asked Zhao Zhen. Zhao Zhen stared at the hands holding the novice staff, slowly said, "Should be credible. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so strong." Chapter 14. Fleeing the Campus. Chapter 14. Fleeing the Campus. Listening to the word of Zhao Zhen, the heart of the 5 people were moved, but the thought of a melee battle with zombie, everyone became silent. Close fighting was too dangerous. As long as the zombies scratched them, they would be infected and die. Real life and online games are different. People only have one life. If dead, there is no more chance. There is no resurrection. Go back. Zhao Zhen hesitated for a long time, finally slowly said to the 4 others, and went into the financial office. Even though knowing the way to get stronger, but to gamble with his life, Zhao Zhen was not mentally prepared to do that. The remaining 5 hesitated and then went into the financial office. If not cornered, few people would be willing to risk their lives to choose the path to become stronger. Leaving the financial office, you began to fully speed towards the direction of the girls' dormitory. Group of zombies staggering around over toward the side. You grasped the Imitation Tang sword and broke through the zombie group, even though he had no training in martial arts. But his agility, no zombie could block him for a moment. With the help of white bones, you beheaded 7 zombies, broke through the surrounding zombies, and came back to the girls' dormitory. You climbed up the rope and got back into the girls' dorm. You're back. Seeing you return, the cute baby-faced Zhang Xian immediately stood up with a delighted smile on her face. In addition to Qing Wu, the rest of the girls all smiled and breathed a sigh of relief. You was not gone for too long, but under the threat of the zombies that surrounded them, there was no sense of security. Qing Wu also looked at you and then walked over, using those big, gorgeous eyes to stare at him. "Did you get the keys?" "In my hand." You sat on one of the girls' bed, took out a bottle of water, and drank it. Although you left for just a short time, but it was full of intense fighting and also rushed back. His stamina consumption was great. "Let's go." When his stamina recovered to 9 points, you stood up and said to the 5 girls in the dorm. You looked at the 4 girls and said, "When you guys get down on the ground, you need to stay behind me and Qing Wu. Do not run around and do not push or shove each other. I have to say this advance. If you run around, I will not be able to save you." Outside, there was a large amount of zombies. If these girls ran into a group of zombies, you cannot save them. Got it. The 4 girls nodded politely. At this time, if they did not listen, then they will die. With his statement finished, you quickly climbed down the rope, in a short time reached the ground. Zhang Xian came close to the rope, looked down, and hesitated for a moment. She was not a sporty girl. Even if there is a rope, she wouldn't necessarily be able to climb down smoothly from the 3rd floor. "If you aren't going, then let me go first. Don't waste time." Zhang Xian. Wang Fong pushed Xian to the side, quickly climbed down the rope. Although a bit wobbly, Wang Fong grit her teeth and climbed down. Next, Chen Yao skillfully climbed down the rope, more smoothly compared to Wang Fong. "Not bad." You praised her. There are few girls that can neatly climb down the rope like that. Chen Yao gives the impression that she is kind of fragile, delicate, and charming beauty. Did not think she could have been so dexterous. Chen Yao looked at you and confidently said, "Don't look at me like that. In fact, I'm a fitness beauty that exercise regularly, but I'm not as great as Qing Wu." You smiled and didn't say anything. The short hair, Kai Xiao, soon climbed down from the rope. Finally, once again, it was Zhang Xian's turn. She gritted her teeth and grabbed the rope, wobbly climbed down. Below, Wang Fong urged, Hurry up. Zhang Xian, you're the only one left. Although there aren't many zombies left near the girls' dorm, but if they left the dormitory, there are a lot of zombies. If careless, we'll be surrounded and killed. Urged by Wang Fong, Zhang Xian in a hurry, quickened her pace, suddenly slipped, and her body fell down. Finished. Feeling the wind howl, Zhang Xian felt despair. In this world, with a fracture, the survival rate would greatly plummet. At this point, Yu shot forward like an arrow, very quickly embraced Zhang Xian that was falling. A couple of hundreds pound a body falling from the second floor of the building. Even though Yu was strengthened, the collision made his chest felt tight. Zhang Xian got out from Yu's embrace, with a hint of blush on her face. Thank you. Thank you for saving me, Yu. At this time, Wang Fong felt some jealously watching this scene. This small girl is really crafty. After the four girls were down, Qing Wu very quickly climbed down the rope. Just when the five was ready to leave, a girl on the third floor suddenly stuck her head out the window, hands holding a piece of white paper. On the white paper was SOS, please help us. What now? Go save them? Zhang Xian asked you. The other girls looked at you. Their heart is also very tangled. If they choose not to save them, they will have an uneasy conscience. But if they save them, they themselves will be in danger. You shook his head, bluntly said, no, it is already difficult to protect ourselves. Must find a secure place. After that, if we have the spare capacity, then we can save them. You and Qing will have to protect the four girls while rushing to the school bus, which is already very difficult. A few more girls is too much. You guys there, if I have spare energy left, will save you. In the meantime, you will have to defend yourselves. You said loudly to the give above, then looked at the five girls and said, go. Qing Wu, me, and White Bones will charge ahead. I will leave these four fishes in the net to you. After saying this, you and White Bones led the way toward the school bus. Hurry. Qing Wu urged the four girls. Everyone knows that now is a critical moment. The four girls followed tightly behind you, rushing forward. Qing Wu is circling around the four girls, protecting them. Chapter 15. Escape. Chapter 15. Escape. On the fourth floor of the dormitory, a girl watched as you guarding the four girls departed. Eyes red, tears falling down, she covered her mouth to suppress herself from making too much noise. You and Qing Wu commotion caused when they entered the dormitory was loud. Seeing you bringing along a group of people to escape gave her a glimmer of hope to escape this zombies-infested dormitory. Your departure was equivalent to taking her hope to escape away. Naturally, she couldn't bear it. If the conditions had allowed, she would have burst into tears. Kiki, don't cry. He said we'll come back, did he? A long-haired girl came over next to Lin Qi to comfort her. Lin Qi said in a low voice, Zhongli, but it's so dangerous here. I'm afraid you will not come back. Zhongli comfortingly said, don't worry. That guy name is Yu Zhong. I know him. He is a very trustworthy guy. He said he would come back. Most likely will be back. Just need to patiently wait for him. Lin Qi curiously asked, really? Zhongli, you know him? Zhonglai gave a chuckle. Of course, his jobs are introduced by me. So tell me about him. Lin Qi pesteringly asked Zhonglai. In this dangerous environment, she needed something new to distract her attention. Zhongli pulled Lin Qi over and whispered to her things she know about you. Good. After departing the girls' dormitory, you and White Bones wasted no time in heading towards the school bus. The four girls following right behind him. You and his party had just headed out when the zombies immediately staggered towards them. Looking at those faces, body-bitten and torn zombies, the four girls were scared, making their legs weak, reducing their speed. Not everyone seeing that swarm of zombies can remain calm. If he hadn't killed so many zombies, he definitely would not be so calm. Run faster. Don't stop. Qing Wu shouted. The zombies in front had been killed by you, but the pressure was greater for Qing Wu. Guarding the four girls was not a simple task. If a zombie got past, and the girls did not have the will to fight, would be killed. Hearing Qing Wu shouted, the four girls were afraid to slow down, continue going forward. When sprinting, all of a sudden Zhang Xian accidentally stepped on a pebble and slipped, falling to the ground. Wang Fong quickly stepped over Zhang Xian. Seeing you still running, chase after him. Surrounded by zombies, she didn't want to put herself in a dangerous situation because Zhang Xian. Help me, I hurt my foot. Zhang Xian struggled trying to stand up, while crying loudly, pleaded the women for help. Chen Yao hesitated, then looked at Kai Xiao. Both girls immediately went over to Zhang Xian and helped her up. The trio moved forward with difficulty. Thank you, Chen Yao, Kai Xiao. Zhang Xian, with a red nose, tears falling down, said, only in moment of crisis can you see who is your true friend and who's fake. Zhang Xian weighed nearly 60 kilograms. With Chen Yao and Kai Xiao supporting her, the trio's speed didn't slow much. But after 10 meters, they were already tired and out of breath. I'm here. You guys follow my skeleton. Quick. You returned from the front and took Zhang Xian from Chen Yao and Kai Xiao. In a deep voice said to them, you be careful. Chen Yao and Kai Xiao both heaved a sigh of relief. The two looked at you and said. Then the two of them ran after White Bones. Put this on, then get on my back. You gave the backpack to Zhang Xian, then turning his back to her, and said. Zhang Xian quickly grabbed the backpack, and then climbed on Yu's back. Zhang Xian just got on Yu's back when he felt his body heavily sank down. If his power had not been increased several times, with Zhang Xian and the backpack full of supplies on his back, it would be very difficult to move. Hold on tight. If you fall down, there's nothing I can do. Finish saying that. You took a deep breath and rushed straight towards the direction of the school bus. Zhang Xian holding you tightly, with a generous and warm back, she felt a sense of security in her heart. It would be nice if he was my boyfriend. At this moment, White Bones had been promoted to level 7, with his physical fitness 60% higher than an average person. It wielded the axe, clearing the road of zombies, scattering the corpses everywhere. Yu's body, having been strengthened several times, isn't much slower than the girls, soon rushed inside the school bus. After getting on the bus, you put Zhang Xian aside, took out the keys, and threw it at Chen Yao. Quickly dried, Zhang Xian from Yu's back sat down. Suddenly in her heart felt a sense of loss. Got it. Chen Yao quickly put the car key in, then started the bus. The two of you take care of Zhang Xian. You looked at Kai Xiao and Wang Fong said. Then let's sat on the school bus, breathing a long sigh of relief. A series of fierce fighting. His stamina is down to 6 points. He must seize every minute to rest and recover his stamina, so he can cope with any possible battle. Kai Xiao nodded and went over to Zhang Xian, while Wang Fong just watched Zhang Xian awkwardly. Just a moment ago, at the moment of crisis, she did not stop to save her friend, but rather chose to flee. Qing Wu sat directly across from you, holding out a small white hand, said, Water. You with a wry smile dug out from the backpack a Coke and gave it to Qing Wu. Where do we go now? Going to my house? After starting the car, Chen Yao looked at you and said, No, go to the small supermarket ahead. We need to get supplies first. Without supplies, we cannot survive. Wang Fong, you come over here for a minute and explain the process of driving. You came near Chen Yao, looked at Wang Fong, and said, he had to learn how to drive and operate a vehicle, so even if he was alone, he could drive a car and escape. Okay. Wang Fong immediately was glad to go to went to Yu's side, started to explain the role and use of the apparatus. In fact, the hardest part of driving is the rules of the road. How to start the car, stop, accelerate, and braking are not difficult. Wang Fong saying all this, you started to understand a lot. But of course, with you driving skills, would only a killer on the road. But he quickly learned how to start, stop, and brake. Chapter 16, Dispute. Chapter 16, Dispute. The school bus sped forward, running over countless number of zombies that got in the way. I'm not leveling. I cannot level when using a vehicle. Seems like it's necessary to understand the rules on how to level up. You looked at the zombies that was knocked flying. There was even a zombie with its head smashed open from being run over. There was no ball of white light coming from the zombies' corpses. You frowned and thought. Originally, you was looking for strong, heavy vehicles, such as Hummers, road rollers, and other heavy-duty vehicles that can easily kill the zombies. But it now appears that the plan was wide off the mark. The school bus quickly arrived at the small supermarket. Chen Yao, you wait here, ready to start the car. Wang Fong, Kai Xiao, you two come carry the supplies. Qing Wu and I are responsible for being on guard. You quickly made the arrangement, then immediately jumped out of the bus. Qing Wu also very elegantly jumped down from the bus. Wang Fong, Kai Xiao, the two, I one another, ran down the bus toward the small supermarket. Wang Fong, the supermarket is blocked. Wang Fong and Kai Xiao, prior to entering the small supermarket, found that the small supermarket was blocked with all kinds of debris. White bones, break it here. Why? Just looked at the small supermarket, then pointed his finger toward the pole in the corner. White Bones swung his axe. The axe smashed the pole in the corner. Sound, bang, bang. A very loud sound rang out. Countless broken glass and dust fell down, revealing a big hole. This small supermarket is surrounded by glass, could not withstand the force of destruction. Therefore, it was why you did not choose it as a stronghold until help come. White Bones, wielding his axe, severely cut down a couple times. Then around the small supermarket, the glass shattered all over the floor. The supermarket within was completely exposed to everyone's eyes. Chen Gang, is it you? At the same time, there was a sound of surprise coming from Chen Gang in the supermarket. Chen Gang, Sun Yu, and Wang Shuang, soon all three of them came out. Sun Yu, Qing Wu. Hello, my name is Sun Yu. I'm a third-year student. Seeing Qing Wu, Sun Yu eyes lit up brightly, quickly stepped forward to introduce himself. Qing Wu looked over Sun Yu, then lightly said, Qing Wu, hello. Chen Gang at this time come over to Yu's side, looked at the school bus, very passionately sigh. Chen Gang, you really are amazing, actually brought the school bus here. With this, we can be sure to escape from the school. You ignored Chen Gang, but walked toward Kai Xiao and Wang Fong, with a deep voice ordered. Go get the supplies, giving priorities to water and food. Kai Xiao and Wang Fong swiftly went into the supermarket and started to carry supplies. Sun Yu, seeing you ordered the two, took a step forward, accusing him. Sun Yu, you're not a gentleman. How can you allow the girls to do this kind of heavy labor? You are a man. Shouldn't you be more proactive to move the supplies? Now you get the girls to do this heavy labor. While resting here, don't you know that is a disgrace? Wang Fong, Kai Xiao, the two people immediately stopped and looked at you. You glanced at Wang Fong and Kai Xiao, dismissively said, this is our group's business. You are an outsider and should shut up immediately. If they think what I'm doing is inappropriate, they can leave now. I will not stop them. Wang Fong, Kai Xiao, if you guys think that I was not right, then you can stay here and get along with the three of them. I definitely will not stop you. Kai Xiao, with a contemptuous look at Sun Yu, said, Kai Xiao, Sun Yu, you should shut up. In order to get us out, not know how many zombies he had to kill. He is also a person and will get tired. We can't fight against the zombie directly, but we can still do menial labor. If you have the skill, then go kill the zombies. Finished speaking, Kai Xiao strode into the supermarket and continues carrying supplies. Wang Fong ridiculously looked at Sun Yu, marched into the supermarket. In her view, Sun Yu in this world, if he did not change from a spoiled child, would not survive for very long. Chen Gang, face paled, stared at you. Chen Gang, you do not mean to take us out of here with you. You looked at Chen Gang, coldly said, of course, when I ask you if you are willing to help me get the school bus or stay here and wait for help. You do not want to wait here and wait for the military to rescue you? Then you can slowly wait for it. I think that the government should be able to send someone to rescue you, the survivors. This vehicle of mine is too small, not for too many people. Not wanting to contribute, not want to take risks, but want to share the fruits of labor. Those are the kind of people Yu hates the most. Especially Sun Yu, a spoiled child, did not understand this. Sun Yu's face was completely paled, shouted in a loud voice. Sun Yu, how can there be someone so selfish? Shouldn't we be helping each other? If I want to get on, what are you going to do? The school bus is not it is the school property. After finishing, Sun Yu ran toward the bus. Yu immediately came forward and slapped him in the face. Sun Yu fell to the ground with a swollen face. You look at Sun Yu with disgust, with a deep voice shouted. Yu, there isn't just one school bus. If you want a school bus, go get it from the mouth of those zombies. I took this school bus from the mouth of the zombies. You did not contribute anything. I'm not going to let you get on this bus. Disappear. Along with Yu's words, Whitebone stepped forward with an axe like a thunderbolt cut down in front of Sun Yu. The strong wind from the axe scared Sun Yu, making his face white with fear. Seeing Whitebones beside Yu, Chen Yao, Wang Shuang, and Sun Yu are all afraid to say anything. The current world have changed. Calling the police no longer work. They will not be able to gain additional help. You, Qing Wu, you watch them. I will go fight a fierce battle. Tell them to move quickly. We do not have much time. You eyed the trio, looked over at Qing Wu, and said. Already a group of zombies were heading over from the front of the school, drawn by the sound of the school bus engine. They staggered over. Qing Wu waved the novice staff in front of the trio, then said to you, Qing Wu, leave this place to me. You be careful. Afterwards, Yu and Whitebones immediately rushed out from the school bus. After charging in the group of zombies, Yu was like a tiger, with the Imitation Tang sword in hand cut down the zombies' head, beheading them one by one. Whitebones swinging his axe, killing zombies like he was harvesting vegetables, as if unhindered. Balls of white light flow into Whitebones and your body nonstop. Chapter 17, Stand Strong. Chapter 17, Stand Strong. Shuang, so amazing, he is even stronger. Shuang eyesight is good. With a look he could tell that Yu was different than he was a couple hours ago. He was stronger. Yu, the apple of vitality. Yu killed 5 zombies suddenly in front of him. From a zombie, the apple of vitality dropped. He was overjoyed and quickly picked up the apple and put it in his pocket. After killing 2 more zombies, Yu and Whitebones retreated back. The numbers of zombies was too great, the killing was endless. Even though they are strong, in reality there are only 2 of them. They cannot not stop the group of zombies for too long. Yu, are you good? Yu quickly ran back to the school bus, toward Qing Wu asked. Qing Wu pointed to the trio and looked at Yu said, Qing Wu, good. I'll let them 3 help move the supplies. In exchange, we will take them to a safe place. You took a look at the trio, seeing them carry a bunch of packages and putting them in the corner of the bus. Seeing you get on the bus, the trio just looked at him, not daring to say anything. At this time on the school bus was filled with packages of various supplies. Wang Feng and Kai Xiao were panting sitting in their seats. They have never done such heavy labor before. You loudly said, You, quickly drive. Chen Yao stepped on the gas. The bus accelerated forward, running over all the zombies in front. The school bus rushed out of the school, everyone seeing the scene on the street. On the streets, everywhere was the rustling sound of the zombies. The cars that was not parked on the roadside have crashed into the side of the shops. Even some of the restaurants were on fire. The whole store lit, smokes rising toward the sky. The school bus just got out of the school. Soon there was a horde of zombies staggering towards them. They were attracted by the sound of the school bus engine. There was a strange glint in Chen Yao's eyes. She fiercely drove the school bus towards the zombies and running them over, sending the zombies flying everywhere. You watching the hordes of zombies on the street and thought, fortunately, we got the school bus, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get through. The wandering hordes of zombies are everywhere on the streets. Even you and Whitebones would not be able to get through the streets. Chen Gang trio looked at the packed streets of zombies, and their hearts was filled with fear, as if the whole world was filled with zombies and no longer any people. Before, the people walking through the streets were like ants walking through. Now, besides the zombies, were just more zombies. Chen Yao drove the school bus, sped all the way through, running over countless zombies, heading into the Garden District. Alteration of the world took place in the afternoon. At that time, most of the people were not home in the Garden District. Even at home, they were in their room, and few people would be outside. Chen Yao, after driving into the Garden District community, ran over a bunch of zombies, then stopped at a block of apartments. Opening the door, White Bones got out of the car. Swinging his axe sent a zombie head flying. You also got off. Swinging his Tang sword beheaded a zombie. Qing Wu, get off. Qing Wu, looking at the students on the bus, and said. The four girls and the trio very quickly got out of the bus. Outside in this community, there was not many zombies, only a few, and soon was killed by you, White Bones, and Qing Wu. The 7 students saw the trio easily getting rid of the zombies. You, give me the keys. After getting rid of the zombies, you went over to Chen Yao, holding out his hand, and said. Chen Yao very quickly fished out the handful of keys and gave it to you. After you got the keys, quickly opened the locked steel door of the apartments. Right after the steel door opened, for zombies stagger toward them from inside the steel door. The 7 students, seeing the torn and bitten zombies, were too scared and took a step back. Almost no one does not know about Resident Evil. As long as they are bitten by a zombie, they would become one. They didn't want to become a zombie. White Bones, wielding his axe like a whirlwind, charged towards the zombies. In a short moment, beheaded 3 zombies and sending their head flying. You body, slightly bent, sword from the bottom up, directly beheading a zombie head and sent it flying. You looked at everyone, said something, immediately rushed into the building with White Bones. You, carrying the supplies, then go upstairs. I will go cleared out all the zombies. Quick, don't dawdle. Qing Wu, I leave their safety to you. Take the stairs. Qing Wu. Okay. Qing Wu nodded in reply. Chen Yao's apartment was on the 5th floor. You and White Bones followed the stairs up. On each floor, they quickly clean up the stairway of zombies. After killing 12 zombies, they cleared the zombies from the stairway up to that floor. You opened the door to Chen Yao's apartment, then ordered White Bones. You, White Bones, immediately go upstairs. Clear up the zombies you meet on each floor. Receiving Yu's order, White Bones, dragging his large axe, quickly ran upstairs, started clearing the zombies inside the building. You then walked into the room, sat down on the sofa, breathing a big sigh, began to have a rest. Today, fighting all the way, his body was very exhausted. If he was not strong-willed, he wouldn't have been able to hold on. At this time, his stamina has been reduced to 4 points. Having sat down, he did not want to get up. One after another, Chen Yao group quickly moved the supplies from the bus into the room. After Chen Yao group entered, you just looked at them. Without any movement, he was too exhausted and couldn't care about being a gentleman. Soon, under the effort of the group of 6 people carrying, the apartment quickly filled with a variety of supplies. They continue moving the supplies till dark. Soon the 7 finish moving all the supplies to the apartment. After closing the door, all of them were really relieved. You, I will go search the building. With his stamina back up to 7 points, you stood up from the sofa, looked at Qing Wu, and said, Qing Wu, you be careful. Qing Wu said to you. She was also very tired, in need of a good rest. Wang Fong, be careful. Wang Fong also said. You nodded, quickly walked out. Chapter 18. White Leather Gloves. Chapter 18. White Leather Gloves. You got up and left the room. You, there are no life coin. Why is this? Is it after a while, something that did not belong in this world will disappear? You went up the stairs. Along the way, there were zombie corpses everywhere, but there were no black life coin near their body. This made him frown. Hesitating a bit, you took out a life coin and threw it on the ground and stared at it. After 20 minutes, the black life coin turned into black smoke and disappeared in the air. You puckered his eyebrows, thinking, sure enough, items that does not exist in this world. If it leaves the body of the owner will disappear in 20 minutes. You inspected the area going up, only seeing the corpses of the zombie everywhere. All the bodies he saw were killed white bones. This building have 8 floors. Use inspection did not find any zombies left. All the zombies have been killed by white bones. White bones, because of all the fighting had advanced to level 8, it was now 70% stronger than an average human. On the 8th floor, you went straight to the door of an apartment. Is there anyone inside? If you are, please tell me. I will leave immediately. If you do not answer, I will use force to break in. There was no movement inside. You white bones do it. You ordered white bones. White bones with his axe as big as a human head strike at the door, cutting a deep hole with chip flying out. Several more axe strike, and the door was quickly chopped up. The door just opened. Out of the room, a torn and bitten-faced little zombie girl, a middle-aged male zombie, and a female zombie staggered toward you and white bones. You attacked them. You shouted, with a sword slash, beheaded the middle-aged male zombie, sending his head flying. White bones with a vicious hit, as if like a tank hitting the little girl zombie and female zombie, knocking the 2 zombies to the ground. You came over with a slash cut of the little girl zombie head. You hold her. White bones was about to kill the female zombie when he got you's order. It could only use its bony hand to hold the female zombie. You slashed down, cutting off the zombie head. Right after the zombie head was cut off, a white treasure box dropped out. You eyes brightly lit up, quickly picked it up and opened it. A white light flashing, a rune-engraved white leather gloves appear in front of him. Level 1 white leather gloves. After equip, +2 power. Can withstand attack from monster below level 5. Durability 10 of 10. You quickly wore the white leather gloves. He soon felt a warmth flowing through his body. His power has been increased. You searched the room for a bit, did not find any zombies. Walked toward another apartment. The room was heavily damaged by you, with the zombies beheaded. Is anyone inside? Please tell me, and I will leave immediately. If you do not respond, then I will break in. Man, there is. Don't break my door. Please leave immediately. On the 3rd floor of the building, he heard a man's voice. You, without hesitation, immediately walked out toward the lower floor. The 8-story building, each floor has 4 apartments. You found that there were 6 families that were still alive, but everyone was wary of him. He just spoke to them and was immediately driven away. The world have transformed today. Home is the only safe place. Everyone towards strangers has a great deal of caution. You destroy all the apartment that did not have people and cleaned it up and was able to advance to level 7. System message. You have been promoted to level 7. Please assign the 2 stats points. When you killed all the zombies on the 6th floor, a voice rang out in his head. You hesitated a bit before making his choice. You assign 1 point to stamina, 1 point to agility. After killing all the zombies in the building, you dragged his exhausted body back to Chen Yao apartment. Chen Yao, you are back. Seeing you return, the girls immediately smiled with joy. They were worried that he would die in the mouth of the zombies, even more worried that he would be gone for good. Chen Yao, I prepared dinner for you. Chen Yao took a big, steaming bowl of noodles topped with meat and ham toward you, smiled, and handed the bowl to you. The smell of the food drifted to his nose. The bowl filled with meat and ham, the smell drifting to his nose when his stomach growled loudly. The food was too enticing. Is this tap water? You took the bowl of instant noodles, controlling his greedy hunger, looked at Chen Yao and asked. Chen Yao understood Yu's concerns, quickly replied. Chen Yao, no, it's cleaned water. You took the bowl of instant noodles and began to eat with eager. He was really hungry. The instant noodles he used to eat was simply not as delicious. Wang Fong looked at you, with regret was thinking. Wang Fong, why didn't I think of that? If I only done this for him, wouldn't his affection increase for me? Qing Wu, you want to let those 3 guys into the group. After dinner, you rested a bit, eyed the trio, and then said to Qing Wu, The 4 girls is already cumbersome, if coupled with the 3 incompetent guys. Even if Qing Wu is very tough, with exquisite swordsmanship, it is impossible to protect them well. You did not want to protect the trio that only know how to complain and not willing to contribute. He still has a lot to do. At this time, the trio tensed up, staring at Qing Wu. In this world, without strong people protecting them, it is impossible to survive. Qing Wu is silently thinking. Chen Gang said to Qing Wu very seriously, Chen Gang, Qing Wu, now look at this world. Shouldn't we help each other and together to survive? Please let us stay, and we will protect you. Chapter 19, Shuang joins. Chapter 19, Shuang joins. Qing Wu has not responded, but ask you, why did you want to clear up all the zombies in the apartments? In the room, the other's gaze turned to you. You slowly said, I believe that these zombies will evolve. Currently, they're only level 1, but I think they will not always stay like this. If they continue to evolve, they will become more dangerous. If those zombies are only this at this level, so long as humans have a firm footing, they could easily completely destroy the zombies and once more re-establish order. Sun Yu, looking a bit pale, retorted, No way. In the TV shows, zombies are not like this. How can they evolve? Sun, you can see the world it is today. The streets are full of zombies, not even a shadow of the living. If those zombies evolve, then it will be difficult to destroy the zombies and restore order. You glimpse at Sun Yu, lightly said, I have only stated my speculation, not necessarily the truth. Chen Yao interrupted, worryingly asked, Do you have to leave? The girls looked at you. They have seen Yu's strength. Without his protection, their future is bleak. Even though there are a lot of supplies in the apartment, however, these supplies will one day run out. If you left, they will not know what their future will be like. You look at Chen Yao, earnestly said, I have to find my best friend. After finding my best friend, I want to go home for a bit. We can only stay together for a couple days. The girls in Chen Yao's dorm were quite beautiful, especially Chen Yao and Qing Wu. They were the most beautiful at the school. For you, however, his best friend and his parents are the most important people. He cannot just stay here and protect these girls. Hearing what you said, beside Qing Wu, the girl's eyes were dark, filled with a layer of haze. At the same time, Shuang, who has been silent, suddenly said, Let me come with you. I want to follow you, whether it is to find your best friend or to go to your home. Maybe you need a person to drive. I can also do all kind of heavy physical work. The non-combat heavy physical work you can just give to me. You stare at Shuang, asked, Are you sure you want to follow me? My family lives in the southern city Nanning. From here is not close. I do not know what kind of danger we will encounter. As I said, if I guess correctly, those zombies should be evolving. Above all, do not know what kind of danger lurks. Those girls that were going to leave with you fell into silence. Nanning City is too far from here. What the world had become, no one know. They are not prepared to go through these danger. Shuang confidently said, I decided to go with you. Good. You nodded in agreement, allowing Shuang to join his team. You also need someone to help drive the vehicles, carrying supplies, so that he is freed from the logistics and can concentrate on fighting. Shuang and me, are you going to let both of them follow you too? You pointed at Chun Gang and Sun Yu, while asking Qing Wu. Qing Wu glanced at the duo Chun Gang and Sun Yu. With that alluring voice emphatically said, Chun Gang and Sun Yu, you two are now safe. Would you take your supplies and leave? One more person, demand for supplies will be more pressure for others. Also, the girls here are beautiful. The world has started to collapse. Law and order no longer applies. Qing Wu was not sure if these boys are not perverted. Sun Yu, face paled, loudly shouted, Why are you guys like this? My father is in charge of Jiangnan district. Everyone raised their eyebrows. For this spoiled Sun Yu frowned even more. Wang Fong contemptuously smiled, sarcastically said, What about your father? Tell him to send someone to save you. Come on, Sun Yu. Chun Gang shook his head, pulling Sun Yu, picked up 2 big bags of supplies, and walked outside. He did not want to stay here and be humiliated. Reading Yu's intent, White Bones took a step towards Sun Yu. "Wait for me." Sun Yu, seeing White Bones wielding his axe, was frightened, immediately picked 2 big bags of supplies, and ran out. When Chunggang and Sun Yu just left, Kai Xiao stepped forward and shut the door tightly. "Where am I sleeping tonight?" Yu asked Chen Yao as the door was tightly shut. "Follow me." Chen Yao looked at Yu and smiled sweetly, took him into the master bedroom. Upon entering this master bedroom, one filled with faint fragrance, 6 or 7 stuffed animals on the bed, neat and clean, the room full of femininity appeared before Yu's eyes. Chen Yao's eyes flashed with coyness. Looking at Yu, said, "This is your bedroom." This was Chen Yao's bedroom. This was the first time that she brought a boy into her room. "White Bones, stay alert. Don't let anyone enter the room." Yu issued a command, then lie on the big bed and immediately fall asleep. Today he was too exhausted. Chen Yao saw that Yu did not even take off his clothes and lay on her clean white bed. She felt slightly upset, but seeing White Bones coming over with his axe, she immediately left the room. With the existence of the special skeleton, in this room, beside Qing Wu, everyone was afraid. At 7 o'clock the next morning, Yu, lying on the bed, opened his eyes. He always wake up every day at 7 to exercise and to go to class. Sleep really is the most effective way to recover. Yu opened his eyes and saw that his stamina has been completely restored. Yu opened the bedroom door and stepped into the living room. Above the couch in the living room, Shuang was lying there fast asleep. "Get up. I have something to say." Yu immediately went to the other 2 rooms, knocking at the door while saying out loud. Chapter 20. Searching for Qiyang. Chapter 20. Searching for Qiyang. Under the urging of Yu, beside Qing Wu, the 4 girls took about 10 minutes before coming out, gathering together in the living room. Yu, staring at Qing Wu with a deep voice, said, "Qing Wu, we are safe here for the time being. In accordance with the agreement between us, could you come with me to find my best friend today?" Qing Wu lightly said, "Yes." Yu also said, "How about you guys? Are you going to stay here or go and fight with me? We must make it clear in advance. Today's fighting will be more intense than yesterday." Other than Shuang, the other girls were silent. Fighting zombies with just a scratch will be infected and becomes one. Even men don't have the courage to fight, not to mention girls. At the same time, Chen Yao eyes flashed with a firm decision. "I will fight with you. I also want to get stronger." Chen Yao, like ordinary girls, is also afraid to fight zombies, but it was very clear to her, in this world, the most capable person is relying on oneself. Even as there is a strong desire to depend on someone, must still show their worth. Wang Fong, blinking several times, then said, "I will stay here to take care of Zhang Xian. She is still not well, still needs someone to look after her. Even if I went, I would just be a nuisance." Hesitating a bit, Kai Xiao also said, "I will also stay here and take care of Zhang Xian." Yu then said, "Good. You have to shut the door. Except us, absolutely cannot let anyone in." Finished talking, Yu then strode out of the room. Qing Wu, Chen Yao, and Shuang followed behind Yu and went out. Accompanied by a loud sound of the engine, Chen Yao drove the school bus outside. On the streets, the zombies is wandering everywhere as a school bus is rushing through. Those zombies immediately staggered toward the school bus. As the zombies got near, if like a tank, the school bus hit the zombies and sent them flying. Chen Yao, while driving, to Yu said, "Yu, there's only half a tank of gas left." Yu asked, "Is enough left to reach Zhonghai University, then to the gas station in Jiangnan?" Chen Yao confidently estimated, "There is no problem." Yu quickly said, "Then go to Zhonghai University first." Chen Yao nodded and then drove the school bus toward Zhonghai University. Unlike Yunhua University, Zhonghai University is a first-rate school in the nation, has turned out quite a few celebrities, is among the most famous universities. Zhonghai University is also extremely bustling, No matter what time it is, there are people coming and going in. So the number of zombies is several times as much than in other regions. Chen Yao drove to this area, seeing numerous zombies swarm. The school bus is soon surrounded. Upon hearing the school bus engine, the zombies staggered over. Chen Yao gritted her teeth and drove through the zombies. Those zombies, one after another, was run over, with a continuous stream of impacts. If it was an ordinary car, at this time it would have been blocked by the zombies and swallowed by the swarm. Hitting countless number of zombies, the school bus finally arrived at Zhonghai University. Qing Wu looked up at you, asked, "Where's your best friend? The campus is so huge. Do you know where he is?" You quickly replied, "The library, swimming pool, the boys' dormitory, the gym, and supermarket. If he is still alive, it should be in those 5 places." Shuang curiously asked, "What is your best friend's name?" This is Zhonghai University. Compared to Yinhua University, has a lot more zombies. This place, even if it is you, entering is a great deal of risk. Shuang is envious of you's best friend, having a friend like you that would risk his life to save him. You with a chuckle, "His name is Yang, is one of my best buddies." Between the conversation, Chen Yao have driven to the small supermarket in Zhonghai University. "You guys stay here. I will go take a look," you said, then quickly with white bones rushed off. Around the small supermarket was more than 10 zombies. They quickly head over and surround the duo. You looked at the 10+ zombies, then together with white bones charged towards them. At this time, you was no longer like an ordinary boy that was full of fear when faced with the zombies in the dormitory. After continuous fighting and strengthening, Yu's strength has greatly increased. Yu and White Bones rushed into the group of zombies, immediately decapitates the zombies like they were blades of grass, easily clearing the zombies that got in their way. At this moment, elegant black hair flashed by Yu's side. It was Qing Wu rushing into the group of zombies and began fighting. The trio, working together, quickly finished off the group of zombies. You looking at Qing Wu said, "Thank you. You're welcome. Leave this place to me. You go take a look." Qing Wu said, then rushed towards the zombies on the side. Chen Yao, driving the school bus, ran over a large number of zombies, but still a large number of zombies were heading towards the school bus. Qing Wu must clear up the zombies around the school bus, otherwise they will be surrounded. You came to the small supermarket and loudly yelled, "Is somebody in there? Someone say something." From the supermarket, there came a surprise sound. There are people here. You are here to save us." You yelled in a loud voice, "Qiang, are you there? I am Yu Zhong." You shouted twice in succession, but inside the supermarket there was no reply. The supermarket's doors soon opened. 4 men and 3 women came out from inside. One guy wearing glasses, who appeared to be gentle, asked you, "You are here to save us, right?" You glanced at the 4 men and 3 women, said, "Sorry to disappoint you. I'm here to find my friend Qiang. If you want to get out of her, I can take you. But after getting out of here, you all have to depend on yourself in the future. There's zombies outside. You stay here, and there are water and supplies to support you. But get out of here. Just a question of food will make you crazy." You, in order to live in this apocalyptic world, have encountered many difficulty. If he brought these people with him, just worrying about their food issues will make it difficult for him already. Don't even mention trying to get stronger. After listening to Yu's cruel words, the 7 people were dazed and confused. But suddenly a girl with short hair said, "I know where Qiang is. I can tell you, but you have to take me with you." Chapter 21. Second Degree Protective Garment. Chapter 21. Second Degree Protective Garment. You glanced at the girl with short hair, said, "What's your name?" "My name is Chun Qing." The short-haired girl quickly replied. You told her, "Okay, I will take you with me. Where is Qiang?" Chun Qing then said, "He is at the girls' dormitory. When the world changed, he protected Wang Qian and Zhang Xian to retreat to the dormitory." "Good, you will go with me." You, hearing the information, quickly walked out the door. Qing quickly followed behind you. Hesitating for a bit, the guy with glasses and the rest did not follow you. You have made it clear that he cannot always protect them. They also did not want to leave the small supermarket. You and Qing just left the small supermarket immediately frowned. He saw Qing Wu fighting with 8 zombies. Among the 8 zombies, there was one that was 2 meters tall and massive, with speed comparable to the average person, did not feel like the slow zombies. Power Evolve Infected being L1 level 10, with greater power and steel-like skin. Skill Viral Infection. The infection can turn life forms into infected being. You frowned. Not good. Shouted loudly to Qing Wu. Qing Wu, be careful. That guy is a level 10 power-type monster. Qing Wu, with a novice staff, strike at the zombie's head, like the quick strike of a snake, causing those zombies' head to be twisted to the side. Then quickly rushed toward the L1 zombie, striking at the L1 zombie neck. This strike normally would break the neck of the average zombie, but when it struck the neck of the L1 zombie, its head just shook a bit. That massive L1 zombie opened his giant hand and chopped at Qing Wu. The distance between the L1 zombie and Qing Wu was too close. Even with Qing Wu agility and speed would be unable to avoid. Seeing Qing Wu's certain death, when she suddenly between the short distance, explode twice as fast and leapt backward, evading the zombie-killing blow. I reckon this is Qing Wu's skill. You thought, then rushed toward the L1 zombie. After evading that killing blow by the zombie, Qing Wu maintained her crazy speed while continuing to strike the zombie in the head. The L1 zombie defense is far beyond Qing Wu imagination. Its head had been smashed dozens of by Qing Wu, but still without any damage. But waving its claw around, it still could not catch Qing Wu. White bones like an arrow shot towards the zombie. Holding the axe, it struck the L1 zombie like a cyclone. The zombie held up its right arm to block. White Bone's power is far greater than Qing Wu, and his axe was extremely sharp. The L1 zombie right arm was cut off by White Bone's strike. White Bones then swing at the zombie's neck, embedding his axe in it, but could not cut it off. The L1 zombie vital point has been damaged and immediately began to rage, taking a step forward, threw a punch at the right arm of White Bones. The fist knocked the axe-wielding right arm of White Bones. Such great power! Seeing the scene made you tremble. After passing through the continuous strengthening, White Bones is physically very strong. The zombie with just one punch broke off White Bones' arm, which is extremely terrifying. If the punch was thrown at a human body, it would immediately kill them. Wrap him up. You order White Bones. White Bones rushed forward, with its left hand grabbing the axe. Without a weapon, even White Bones is no match for the L1 zombie. The zombie punched White Bones' left arm. At this time, Qing Wu from the side rushed forward, striking the head of the L1 zombie. The blow causing the zombie body to be slightly crooked, causing the punch to miss. You took the opportunity to charge forward, holding his sword high, severely slashing the top of the zombie neck. Accompanied by a sound like two metal striking each other, under that Tang sword slash, the L1 zombie was beheaded. The L1 head fell to the ground, and immediately a big ball of light from the zombie's body flew into you. You have been promoted to level 8. Please assign the 2 stats points. The light entering Yu's body when the message sounded in his head. Assign 1 point to stamina, 1 point to agility. You ordered. Stamina allow you to be able to fight longer, while agility can improve his reaction time and overall speed. If there are power-type zombies, then there must be speed-type zombies. You need to be faster in order to cope with the evolved zombies in the future. After being promoted to the next level, you looked at the L1 zombie's body. Close to the L1 zombie's body was a skill book and a bronze treasure box, 2 white treasure boxes, and a black life coin with a value of 100. You quickly picked up the skill book near the body. Level 1 skill, Overwhelming Power. After using this ability, within 30 seconds, plus 10 power. Using this skill will consume 5 stamina points. Cooldown time, none. You quickly grabbed all the items into his abdomen, then quickly rushed to the school bus. Qing Wu, White Bones, and Chen also immediately follow behind him onto the school bus. You looked at Chen and said, Chen, go to the passenger seat and show Chen Yao the way. Chen went to the passenger seat and showed Chen Yao the way. At this time, Qing Wu walked to Yu's side and asked, what kind of skill book is it? You throw the skill book to Qing Wu and then ask, overwhelming power. Do you need it? In the earlier battle, Qing Wu also helped to fight the L1 zombie. You didn't want to be greedy and not distribute the loots. Qing Wu looked at the skill book, then threw it back to you. I need a good sword. This skill is not suitable for me. The skill overwhelming power consumed too much stamina. For Qing Wu is too much of a burden. Using the skill, she might as well get a good sword. Earlier, Qing Wu could not damage the L1 zombie, cause her weapon was too crappy. You did not demur. Immediately open the bronze treasure box. This is the first time he had seen a bronze treasure box. Opening the bronze treasure box, a bronze color light flashed. A white protective garment appeared in front of you. Second degree protective garment, all stats +5. Able to withstand small caliber bullets and infections under level 20 times. Durability 20/20ths. You seeing the second degree protective garment attributes, eyes lit up, immediately said, I want this piece of equipment. 1. The skill is actually power enhancement, but that sounds so boring, so I changed it to overwhelming power instead. Chapter 22, Shadow Step Skill. Chapter 22, Shadow Step Skill. Okay. Qing Wu glanced at the second degree protective garment with no objection. The main effort to kill the L1 zombie was you and White Bones. Also, Qing Wu did not want to clash with you over the second degree protective garment. You opened a white treasure box, a white light flashed. The white treasure box soon disappeared, leaving nothing behind. This treasure box actually have nothing. You frowned and quietly thought. You did not hesitate to open another white treasure box, a light flashing. An imitation Tang sword appeared in front of him. Qing Wu saw the imitation Tang sword. Her eyes flashed with a hint of desire, took the sword in hand, loving the sword and not letting it go. This imitation Tang sword. I want it. Qing Wu has long envied the imitation Tang sword in Yu's hand. If she had the right weapon, she would not have been that helpless against the L1 zombie. Good. You had no objection. Qing Wu, with that exquisite swordsmanship and imitation Tang sword in hand, will increase her battle potential at least doubled. Qing Wu caressed the hand of the sword, seized the life coins but did not look at the survival skills book one. I just ant this imitation Tang sword. Others are owned by you. Okay. You put his items into the backpack and promptly switch to the second degree protective garment. We are here. The school bus stopped at the girls' dormitory. Chen Yao shouted. Let's go. You, without any hesitation, and with White Bones, rushed out of the open door. You just got off. In front of the dormitory was over 20 zombies heading their way. White Bones led the way, holding the axe like a whirlwind rushed into the group of zombies. Axe flying, zombie head flew high. None of the zombies were a match for White Bones. After you put on the second degree protective garment, his stats are comparable to White Bones. He also immediately rushed into the fray of zombies. Joining the fray, you was sprinting like a ghost in the midst of zombie swarm. With a wave of his hand, cut off a zombie head. So amazing. He is so much stronger than yesterday. Inside the school bus, Chen Yao watched you, full of surprised thoughts. When will I be able to become as strong as him? Wang Shuang see one man, one skeleton fighting amidst the group of zombies. Seeing you beheaded a zombie, his eyes full of envy. Qing Wu soon joined the fray. The more than 20 zombies that occupied the front of the girls' dormitory was soon annihilated by the trio. Qiang, where are you? I am Yu Zhong. Slaying all the zombies in front of the girls' dormitory, you loudly shouted. Inside dorm 206 of the girls' dormitory, a tall and very handsome-looking guy heard Yu's word. His eyes lit up, briskly rushed towards the window, and loudly shouted, "You, I am in dorm 206. Qing Wu, I leave this place to you." Yu sang this sentence, then rushed into the girls' dormitory with White Bones. The sound from the school bus was very loud. The surrounding zombies were attracted to it. If no one stayed to protect the bus, it would soon be surrounded by zombies. After leaving Qing Wu, Yu and White Bones quickly rushed towards the stairs. Killing 6 zombies that blocked their way, Yu and White Bones rushed up the stairs to the second floor. Just at this moment, a diminutive, blue-gray skinned zombie like a ghost rushed toward Yu, a claw aiming for his body. Yu used all his power to jump back, then rolling downstairs. So fast, Yu quickly stood up, filled with horror. The zombie's speed was much faster compared to him before he put on the second-degree protective garment. The zombie's speed is too fast. If he did not wear the second-degree protective garment, he wouldn't be able to react in time. Power Evolve Infected Being S1 Level 10. It has frightening speed. Skill Viral Infection. The infection can turn life forms into infected being. A strike that forces you to retreat. The ghost-like S1 zombie soon entangled with White Bones. The S1 zombie is very fast. A claw gripping White Bones' body removed a piece of bone from White Bones' body. The body of White Bones is made from bones, with no armor covering the body. The bones can be easily removed. White Bones' left hand swinging the axe, but it did not cut that extremely fast S1 zombie. You quickly shot toward the zombie like a fast arrow. After several steps, he was standing in front of the S1 zombie, a sword with a cold light slashing toward the zombie. The S1 moved its body slightly to the right, evaded you killing strike, then swung a vicious claw toward you. A light flashing in your eyes, ruthlessly kicked the zombie in the body, sending the zombie flying a few yards away. White Bones took the opportunity and stepped forward, an axe swinging toward the zombie. The S1 zombie, as if a monkey, quickly twisted its body, evading the strike from White Bones. You took the opportunity to cut the S1 zombie. The zombie was in midair, unable to dodge. Yu's sword cut off the zombie's head, foul blood splattering everywhere. After decapitating the zombie, Yu was out of breath. If he did not have the protection from the second-degree protective garment, when fighting the S1 zombie, he would have gotten infected. After killing the S1 zombie, a white ball of light flew from the zombie body into Yu's body. While on the ground, a skill book and 2 treasure chests dropped. You have been promoted to level 9. Please assign the 2 stats points. After the wild ball of light went into his body, that sweet message sounded in his head. Distribute 1 point to agility, 1 point to stamina. You quickly distributed. Level 2 skill book, Shadow Steps. After activating Shadow Steps, within 30 seconds, agility plus 30. Using this skill will consume 15 stamina points. Cooldown time, none. You without any hesitation, this skill is very suitable for me. With this thought in his mind, the skill book soon turned into black light and entered his body. The black light condensed in his body, becoming like lingering smoke that resemble a rune. You put the remaining 2 white treasure boxes into his backpack, continue to rush up to the second floor. Zhonghai University is a first-rate university. The students' dorms are the standard 4 rooms, each floor with 10 dorms. The number of zombies on each floor is not many, and soon was cleared up by Yu and White Bones. Qiang, I'm here. Open the door. Yu, after killing the zombies, went to the dorm 206 and shouted inside. 1. The Chinese characters say power when describing the zombie. Maybe a typo from the author. I'm not sure since it's an agility-based zombie LOL. Chapter 23. Qiang. Chapter 23. Qiang. Soon, the dormitory's door opened wide. Qiang, holding the novice staff, quickly walked out. You're still alive. You watched Qiang, a slight smile on his face, took a step forward and punched Qi Yang in the shoulder. Qi Yang, with a handsome face and trace of smile, looked at you. You buddy, thank you very much. It's you, Zhong? Long time no see. I'm Zhang Xian. Do you remember me? Just then from inside the dormitory, a pretty girl with long black hair and oval face walked out, with laughter towards you. You looked at Zhang Xian, softly said, Zhang Xian, hello. Qi Yang is handsome, very studious, is also very athletic, was pursued by many girls in high school. According to Yu's knowledge, Qi Yang once had 10 girls confess to him, and 2 girls pursuing him went from Leijiang City to the university. Zhang Xian was one of those 2 girls. Even after entering college, Qi Yang's popularity with girls did not decrease. But being friends with Qi Yang, you knows that Qi Yang did not like any girls at his side. Soon from the dormitory 5 girls came out. Let's go. This is no place to talk. You said this, then immediately rushed downstairs. Qi Yang took up the rear guard to protect the 6 girls. You and White Bones quickly rushed downstairs and saw in front of the school bus was Qing Wu struggling to kill all the zombies that attempted to get close to the school bus. More than 10 zombies was killed by her Imitation Tang sword. But more zombies were coming over, giving people a sense of hopelessness. With the advancing zombies, under pressure, Qing Wu killed the zombies while constantly retreating, trying to buy time. You seeing this, together with White Bones, rushed forward to kill the zombies that were approaching, temporarily stopping the advancing zombies. Qi Yang, along with the 6 girls, quickly rushed into the school bus. We are good. You. After everyone got on the school bus, Qi Yang immediately shouted toward you. Retreat. You looked over at Qing Wu and said, then along with White Bones, quickly rushed toward the school bus. Qing Wu conveniently decapitate another zombie, then immediately rushed to the school bus. Chen Yao quickly start the school bus and accelerated out the campus. On the street, the school bus continuously running over the zombies, sending some of them flying, causing the school bus to constantly shakes. Where are we going? Sitting in the driver's seat, Chen Yao stared ahead and asked you. You quickly replied, go to the Lake District's gas station. You looked over at Qi Yang and asked, Qi Yang, what level are you? The eyes of perception can discern information of monsters up to 5 levels higher, but cannot see human information. Qi Yang immediately replied, Level 4. You took out the Level 1 skill book, Overwhelming Power, and threw it to Qi Yang. Take a look at the skill book and see if you can use it or not. Qi took the skill book and glanced at it, then threw it back to you. Not suitable for me. You took the 1st degree protective garment and threw it to Qi Yang. Put on this protective garment. Items that drop from zombies are adaptable. It can automatically transform to suit the wearer's body. Qi Yang quickly put on the 1st degree protective garment that previously worn by you. His increase in power was not small. At the time that Qi Yang was putting on the protective garment, you quickly opened up the 2 white treasure box. One of the box released a white light and then disappeared. Out of the other box came a silver shield. 1st degree white shield, able to withstand the attack of monsters level 15 and below. Power +1. Durability 20/20. You grabbed the shield and waved it around a couple times, finding that it was not heavy, weighing only a few pounds, is a defensive weapon. Qi Yang, take the shield. You threw the shield to Qi Yang. You have a 2nd degree protective garment, so he did not need the shield. Qi Yang accepted the shield, did not say anything. He is not a man of many words, but he is your most trusted best friend. When they were young, Qi Yang and you holding iron bars once fought with 8 well-known hoodlums. That experience is the most dangerous fighting of their life. If the cops did not arrive quickly, they would have been dead. You took a look at the 6 girls and asked Qi Yang in a low voice, Is one of them your girlfriend? You asked Qi Yang softly, but the 6 girls that accompanied Qi Yang pricked up their ear to listen. Of the 6 girls, the face of Zhang Xian and Wang Qian were most pretty and graceful. The 2 of them were the ones pursuing Qi Yang. Qi Yang firmly said, no. If he didn't like, then he didn't like. He was never ambiguous. Hearing what Qi Yang said, the 6 girls' eyes were gloomy. The school bus, speeding forward, hitting countless zombies, soon arrived at the Lake District gas station. At this moment in the gas station, there were no other vehicles, only a few zombies wandering around. Yu and his party quickly got off the school bus and cleared the zombies around the gas station. After putting on the protective garment, Shuang, holding his novice staff on one hand and the shield on the other hand, very calm and careful, started killing the zombies. After filling up, Yu and his party quickly got back on the bus. Where are we going next? Chen Yao, after starting the school bus, running over some zombies, asked Yu. Yu quickly replied, Qing Wu Road, Garden District. The school bus ran over countless zombies, finally arrived at Qing Wu Road. Qing Wu Road is an extremely busy road, with a lot of zombies now occupying it. The school bus just entered Qing Wu Road, when countless zombies quickly poured over. Whenever there was a collision, the zombies were sent flying, but in that group of zombies, there were 3 zombies that suddenly leapt on top of the school bus. S1 zombie. This place have 3 S1 zombies. Yu was shaken up and loudly shouted, Everyone be careful. Yu, just having said this, with a huge bang, in an instant 3 school bus windows were shattered. 3 cyan figure leapt in the window. Shadow steps, activate. In that moment that the windows shattered, Yu eyes flashed with a light, activated the shadow step skill, pressed down on his feet. A ghost-like zombie head appeared before you, with 1/ cut off the head of the S1 zombie. Chapter 24, Infected. Chapter 24, Infected. The 2 other S1 zombies also enter through the broken windows. One zombie lunging towards Chen Yao, while the other zombie heading directly towards the group of girls. Qing Wu, who had been sitting beside Chen Yao when the S1 zombies broke through the windows, had activated her skill high speed. Then, a sword slash with a mysterious trajectory cut into the S1 zombie's body, completely cutting it into 2, causing foul blood to be splattered. The last S1 zombie jumped into the group of girls, immediately causing a huge panic. The 6 girls were wailing and trying to escape to the surrounding area. The S1 zombie opened its hand and caught a petite girl, then opened its mouth and bit the girl in the neck. Ah, save me. Help me. The girl's eyes were filled with fear, sending out a shrill, screaming sound. The rest of the girls, upon seeing the S1 zombie, all fled and hid and had now let out screams of fear. The S1 zombie, after biting the girl it caught, moved like lightning, pouncing towards a cute, small girl with a round face. Help me! Help me! The round-faced girl, now screaming in fear, frantically tried to escape the cramped bus. All the other girls retreated away from the round-faced girl. Only Shuang, with a calm face holding the novice staff, was ready to take on the S1 zombie. The S1 zombie, seeing Shuang charging forward, released the round-faced girl. The zombie pounced at Shuang as if it were a cheetah, with a claw swiping at Chiang's head. The S1 zombie's speed was too fast. Chiang's level was too low. It was impossible to avoid the attack of the S1 zombie. His eyes flashed with a cold light. He swung the novice staff, smashing it against the zombie's body. Seeing that Shuang would be caught, a shadow flashed by. A sword filled with a cold light slashed at the zombie's head. One slash, decapitating the head and sending it flying with blood, splattering. Yu Zhong, with a kick, sent the zombie's body flying a few meters away, smashing against the bus wall. Just after killing the 3 S1 zombies, the school bus had crashed into a nearby clothing shop. Along with the numerous sounds of shattered glass, the entire school bus rocked and then came to a stop. When the S1 zombie rushed towards Chen Yao, she was frightened and panicked, so she could not control the school bus. Everyone on the school bus lost their balance because of the collision, with 3 girls hitting the seats and knocking out. Yu Zhong, with a roar, shouted, Quickly drive. Chen Yao. Countless zombies were surrounding the school bus. If they were completely surrounded, then they all would die without a grave. Chen Yao was also aware of the danger, suppressing the discomfort after the impact, immediately reversed out from the clothing store and accelerated towards the garden district. Yu Zhong then quickly pulls out a rope from his backpack, then ties up the girl that was bitten by the S1 zombie. The girl cried out in fear. Yu Zhong, what are you doing? Why did you tie me up? I am hurt. You need to save me. The people that were not knocked out were looking at the girl's neck with pity in their eyes. Yu Zhong watched the girl and slowly said, all those bitten by the zombies will be infected and become zombies. You only have 20 minutes left. Those infected cannot be cured. This is the most brutal fact when fighting against zombies. If caught by a zombie, even just a scratch can turn you into a zombie. This was why people feared fighting against zombies. Immediately executing an infected person, this is the most sensible approach. But the world just changed. Yu Zhong could not immediately kill a person who did not turn into a zombie yet. The girl, hearing what Yu Zhong said, pleaded with a loud cry. Help me. Please help me. I don't want to die. Seeing the girl cried out in a loud voice, the rest of the girl were fearful and sympathetic, but no one dared to go near her. You slowly said to the girl, I'm sorry. I'm not able to help you. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Know that she will die 20 minutes later cause her to have a mental breakdown. She loudly wailed, her mouth just muttering the phrase. Yu Zhong turned and walked towards the bodies of the 3 S1 zombies. The 3 S1 zombies only dropped a skill book, 7 treasure boxes, and 3 survival coins worth 50. Level 1 skill book, minor injury healing. Using this skill can cure the patients who suffered minor injuries. Each usage will consume 4 MP. Yu Zhong took the minor injury healing skill book, then hesitated a bit. This skill book is a healing skill. Currently, the hospitals are deserted. Even a minor injuries can claim a person's life. Having this healing skill, he can deal with more emergencies. But then he will be missing a powerful fighting skill. Yu Zhong, with a slight smile, tossed the skill book to Qing Wu. Qing Wu, do you want this skill book? Qing Wu took a look at the skill book, then tossed it back to you. Don't need it. The other people are watching Yu Zhong with hope in their eyes. They already know that a skill book represents a kind of ability. The world has changed, but one thing has not changed. The people with abilities can live better, while those without abilities cannot even afford to protect their own lives. Under the stares of the others, Yu Zhong put the skill book in his backpack. Each skill book is extremely rare. He will only give the skill books to people who he believes can become his teammate. Yu Zhong then began to open the white treasure boxes. White lights flashing, 5 of the treasure boxes were empty. The last 2 treasure boxes dropped 2 pairs of first-degree enhanced footwear, agility +3. The 2 pairs of enhanced footwear were given to Chen Yao and Qing Wu. The school bus soon arrived at the Garden District. Even though there were many people in the building, the majority of them were in their office. There are not many zombies outside. Chen Yao, Qing Wu, I'll leave these zombies to you guys. After saying this, you quickly rushed towards the stairs. Chen Yao and Qing Wu, the duo, escorted the girl that was bitten off the school bus and started killing the zombies roaming around the building. Yu Zhong and White Bones arrived at a floor in the building, then killed 7 zombies blocking their way while heading towards room 604 in the building. Yu Zhong constantly knocked on the door of room 604 and loudly yelled, Lu Wen, are you alive? It's Yu Zhong. I'm alive. Big brother, you don't leave. Soon from inside room 604 came the surprise cry of a girl. Chapter 25, News of Gathering. Chapter 25, News of Gathering. After a while, things moved, and a voice sounded inside. And then room 604 door opened wide. A girl with a ponytail, tiny chest, and full of youthful vitality was a cute girl about 15 years old. Lu Wen saw you, and threw herself into his arms and cried out, Big brother, you. I knew you would save me. You patted Lu Wen's shoulders and asked, Aunt and Uncle Lu. Lu Wen is Yu's tutoring student. Although usually Lu Wen is very mischievous, but the two get along well overall. Lu Wen's parents also look after you and never owed wages. Thanks to a good salary of a home tutor, you can live a quiet college life and do not need to look for other jobs. Lu Wen raised her teary face and said, I called their phones, but nobody answered. Lu Wen was so adorable compared with the usual naughty little, which is completely different. When the world changed, most people have been turned into zombies. Lu Wen was hiding inside, looking out the window at people being bitten by zombies. The phone calls couldn't get through, and no one picked up the calls, so she was very afraid and helpless. Now seeing you, her heart calmed down slightly. You quickly said, you should come with me immediately. This is not a place to stay for long term. Big brother, you, wait for me. I will come immediately. Lu Wen quickly went to her room to get her backpack, put on a baseball cap, and wore her sneakers. Then ran to Yu's side. Let's go. You did not say much, then with Lu Wen rushed downstairs. After rushing downstairs, the two got on the school bus. Then you said to Chen Yao, now get out of here. Go back to your apartment. At this point, Shuang and Qing Wu have cleared the surrounding area and returned to the bus. Chen Yao started the school bus without saying anything, then sped away, running over countless zombies to head home. You, after getting on the bus, took a look inside, did not find the girl bitten by the S1 zombie. He did not know if she had already become a zombie and was killed by Qing or Qing Wu. The ride back was without incident. This time they smoothly returned to Chen Yao's home. Good news. Longhai City has established an enclave of survivors. The survivors nearby have gone there. Back home, immediately Wang Fong excitedly said to Yu and his party, very good, very good. Now we are saved. Listening to Wang Fong's words, the dark clouds that hung over everyone's hearts have dispersed, and their hearts are filled with joy. Yu is no exception. After the world changed, everyone's hearts was filled with confusion. Fear and anxiety lingers in all their hearts. Despite the usual complaints about the government, in such despair, hearing the official news is undoubtedly an invigoration to them. A strong institution capable of maintaining order and allowing them live a quiet and orderly life, they would not have to lead such a precarious existence. After the great news, you immediately asked Wang Fong, how do you know this news? Wang proudly took out a radio to show off. I heard the broadcasting on the radio. The end of the occurred 2 days ago. Longhai City, which was able to make that kind of response, this mayor actually has some capability. You quietly thought. The Chinese government efficiency is obvious. Within 2 days, they are able to reassure the public and prepare the enclave for survivors. Longhai City mayor's capability was far beyond Yu's imagination. Wang Fong said to Yu, while looking forward to his reaction, Yu, how about we go to Longhai City now? Listening to Wang Fong's words, all eyes in the room fell on Yu. Without the help of Yu, the probability of reaching Longhai City was very small. In the room, most of them wanted to immediately leave to Longhai City. Yu frowned, in a deep voice said, no, going to Longhai City is no problem, but I want to be prepared. Weapons, supplies, and vehicles are necessary. Without them, I'm not going to Longhai City. Anyone that want to go can go, I will not stop. Qing Wu looked at everyone and lightly said, Yu is right, before we are prepared, reaching Longhai City will be difficult. The school bus, after several collisions, is banged up and does not know when it would break down. With one S1 zombie you can handle. If at the same time they encountered several S1 zombies, L1 zombies, or even other special zombies, the team simply cannot resist. Wang Fong with an embarrassed laugh. I just suggested, since you feel that it is inappropriate, then forget it. You took out the minor injury healing skill book and handed it to Lu Wen. Lu Wen immediately learned this skill book. Okay. Lu Wen nodded and took the skill book. With a thought, the skill book turned into a white light and entered her body. You asked, how is it? Good. Lu Wen nodded. You brought Lu Wen over to Zhang Xian and said, you go help Zhang Xian treat her injuries. Zhang Xian rolled up her pant leg, revealing a swollen calf. Lu Wen reached out and touched Zhang Xian, then swollen calf. A white flash of light from her hands flew out into the calf of Zhang Xian. Under that white light's effect, Zhang Xian's swollen calf returned back to normal even the naked eye can see. When the light disappeared, Luwen quickly went over to you, gave me a sweet smile, and said, "Good, but I'm so tired." You took out a lollipop and handed it to Luwen. "Candy." Luwen took the lollipop and with a mischievous smile said, "Big brother, you are like a strange uncle." In a safe place, Luwen had also recovered some of her personality. He shook his head and looked at the lively Luwen. The worries eased from his mind a bit. Since the end of the world, he has been under enormous pressure. Fearing the unknown, he can only choose to get stronger, just so he can get a little sense of security. You walked to the front of Zhang Xian and asked, "How is the result?" Zhang Xian felt her feet, then stood up, her eyes filled with joy. "Great. My injury is completely healed." You seeing Zhang Xian's joyful look, a glimmer appeared in his eyes. This ability to cure minor injuries was far beyond his expectations. The battles will be more severe in the future. What will happen, nobody knows. With his skill to treat minor injuries, in the future his team will be able to get stronger. Chapter 26, Thugs. Chapter 26, Thugs. You looking at Qing Wu asked, "Qing Wu, I want to go to the police station to get some weapons. Are you coming?" It is a collaborative relationship between you and Qing Wu. The two have already worked together to save Qiyang. Qing Wu no longer owed him anything. Although he has gotten a lot stronger, however, firearms are necessary weapons for him. Regardless if the enemies are zombies or people, firearms are very effective. "I'm going," Qing Wu said, then turned and looked at Chen Yao, said, "Yao Yao, you should also go." Chen Yao, inconsistent with her weak appearance, imposingly nodded yes. You quickly said, "Wang, Shuang, Wen, and Qiyang, we are going." At the same time, Zhang Xian plucked up the courage to say, "I want to go." You glanced at Zhang Xian, thinking for a moment, then said, "You should stay here. For this operation, we cannot take you. The operation this time is to get firearms and equipments, so it must be brief. Zhang Xian has no skill, so she would only be a burden." Listening to Yu's words, Zhang Xian felt a pang of disappointment, silently returned to her seat. Yu's party quickly got on the school bus and sped towards the police station. When the school bus traveled on the road for a while, you saw over a dozen weirdly dressed individuals riding modified motorcycles, machete, and a baseball bat in hand. Their hair dyed, yellow, screaming in the street. When the world changed in the late afternoon was when traffic flow at this road was little, so there aren't many zombies. On this road, you did not see any zombies. Those dozens men saw the bus, immediately drove their motorcycles after the bus. Several modified motorcycles soon rushed ahead in front of the school bus, blocking the way. "Stop!" I said to stop. A motorcycle rode along the side of the bus with a baseball bat and machete, while constantly banging and swearing at the sides of school bus. You seeing Chen Yao slowing the school bus down, frowned and shouted, "Don't stop, hit them. Hit them." Chen Yao loudly retorted, "No, someone will die. They're still alive, not zombies. I do not want to become a murderer." Saying this, Chen Yao stepped on the brakes and stopped the bus. It has only been 2 days since the end of the world. Chen Yao's ideology has not changed. She has yet to experience the cruelty of this world, nor understand the old order has collapsed. She did not hesitate to run over the zombies, but cannot run over real live humans. Seeing Chen Yao stopping the bus, you frowned. With an idea, he covered White Bones up with a large canvas. When the school bus had stopped, those motorcycles also stopped and parked next to the school bus. Then 7 young men, armed with machetes, came over. "Boss, these 3 chicks are fine." A guy with dyed yellow hair, wearing nose rings, about 10 years old, and very rebellious-looking teenager saw Luwen, Qing Wu, and Chen Yao. In his eyes flashed a hint of lewdness. He said, and licked his lips next to a man, 8-meter tall, fat, and armed with machetes. The guy that appeared to be the leader looked at everyone. In a deep voice said, "I am the eldest of bikers, Wang Zhiguang. Put away your weapons and get out immediately, I have something to tell you. Yang and Yu looked at each other, then looked at Chen Yao. Both quietly put their weapons in their backpack. Yu and Yang, both protecting Lu Wan, got off the bus. Chen Yao and Qing Wu also walked out. Getting off the school bus, over 10 gang members on motorcycles surrounded Yu's group of 6. At this moment came the roaring sound of the motorcycles. Those bikers only looked at Yu's group while laughing. That girl is good. Looks like we will be able to have a good and pleasurable time. Damn, the office worker was no fun at all yesterday. I didn't have enough fun before she jumped. The 3 girls, which one do you prefer? That little one, delicate skin and soft flesh, are most satisfying to play with. The bikers continues to check out the 3 girls without restraint, bringing chills to Chen Yao and Lu Wan. Lu Wan can sense the malice in the eyes of these bikers. She was afraid and hid behind you. Although she is mischievous, but she knows the severity of a dozen thugs armed with machetes. Fighting thugs with weapons is not easy. Yu Zhong and Qi Yang eye each other and just stood there quietly looking at the situation. What do you want? Yu and Qi Yang did not say anything. This kind of quiet pressure made it hard for Chen Yao to breathe, so she could not help but said out loud. A biker lewdly laughed and said, "Want you to lick Big Brother?" Ha ha, ha ha. That biker's words had hardly faded. Following came a sound of unbridled laughter. Chen Yao, with a flushed face, loudly scolded, "Scoundrel! We are scoundrels! Wait a bit. Big Brother will let you know the benefits of Big Brother. You will see if it is or isn't." One biker laughed out loud. "Yes, brothers will take turns to let you taste the benefits, or with 4 people together." Ha ha ha. Those bikers continued to say obscenities to Chen Yao. Order have collapsed. There are no police to arrest them, and they can indulge in their inner darkness. You coldly stared at Chen Yao. See, those are the people you want to protect. Chen Yao, guilt by you, heart full of grieves, her eyes red, tears fell to the ground like pearl. Wang Zhiguang, with lewdness flashing in his eyes, cried out in a loud voice, "You 3 girls? Now take off your clothes. Take it off. Take it off." Those biker gangs of thugs, one by one, their eyes were covered in a layer of madness, cried out in a loud voice. Under the roar of the biker mob that surrounded them, Lu Wan and Chen Yao hearts are filled with fear. Lu Wan tightly gripped Yu's clothes. Since childhood, she have never seen such crazed people. Are you going to take it off or not? If we are not happy, when we are tired of you, we will chop off your hands and feet to feed the zombies. A young guy with crimson eyes, face twisted, oppressively said. These biker gangs of thugs has taken a few lives, and in the collapse of order in the world, they have started to go wild and cruel. Big Brother you. Lu Wan was afraid and pulled on Yu's clothes. The thugs were violent and frightened her. Yu patted Lu Wan in comfort and said, "Don't worry about it. I am here. They won't be able to lay a finger on your hair." 1. Wan is just a nickname for Lu Wan. 2. Yes, it said the kid looked like a 10 years old. Chapter 27. Slaughter. Chapter 27. Slaughter. I'm sorry, Yu. I was wrong. Looking at those murderous thugs that are like wild beasts, Chen Yao, with tears of remorse, apologized to you. Wang Zhiguang glanced at Chen Yao, frowned, then murderously shouted towards you. "You 3 men, throw your backpack over here. Otherwise, I chop you to death." Wang Zhiguang gave an order, and those thugs pointed their machetes and bats at Yu's group. All of a sudden, a very tense situation. More than 10 men armed with machetes and baseball bats, standing together, gave a heavy sense of oppression. Yu, with coldness in his eyes, slowly said, "Put down your weapons now, and leave immediately. Fuck, altogether. Chop those 3 little fucker." Killing intent appeared in Wang Zhiguang's eyes, loudly shouted the phrase, then led the way, armed with machetes rushing towards you. Under the leadership of Wang Zhiguang, the rest of the thugs charged towards Yu's group like beasts with crimson eyes. "Damn you." Yu pulled out his sword from behind, rushed forward, with a slash like a streaking meteor strike at Wang Zhiguang's body. Yu's current agility and power was far beyond the average person. Wang Zhiguang did not have time to react, and his head was whisked into the sky, blood splashing everywhere. The headless body continued moving forward a few steps, then fell to the ground. Human blood splattered on Yu's body. He had killed the first human. Time seems to stop as the thugs are watching the scene in disbelief. Wang Zhiguang was capable of being the leader of these thugs based on his fighting ability, fearlessness, and extreme ruthlessness. Even 4 or 5 zombies are no match for Wang Zhiguang, precisely because of this, that those biker thugs would serve him. They simply did not think that Wang Zhiguang would fall from one strike by Yu. After decapitating Wang Zhiguang, Yu took a step forward and cut off the arm of 2 thugs, flooding spraying from the separated arms. At the same time, White Bones, previously hidden under the canvas, rushed out. With a swing of his axe, a thug's head flew off immediately, blood splattering everywhere. Quickly escape. Seeing Yu so daring, the biker thugs fled. They are a motley crowd without special training. With the leader dead, there was no point in fighting. Don't run away. All together, kill their boss for revenge. A thug with crimson eyes yelled loudly. Yu, with a flash of coldness in his eyes, stepped forward and decapitated the thug with a sword slash. The blood splashing everywhere as the limp body collapsed on the ground. The thug died, and rest of the biker thugs fled, unwilling to fight Yu. Fuck, go die. 2 thugs, loyal to Wang Zhiguang, got on their motorcycles, shortly after drove towards Chen Yao and Qing Wu, trying to hit them. Looking at the 2 motorcycles about to hit her, Chen Yao was filled with fear. Frozen by fear, she was unable to move even an inch. Just as Chen Yao was about to get hit by a motorcycle, Qing Wu pushed Chen Yao to the side and evaded the collision. But Qing Wu was mercilessly hit by another motorcycle, causing her to spew a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. Qing Wu. Chen Yao suddenly uttered a shrill scream, then crawled on the ground towards Qing Wu, not knowing if she is alive or dead. On the other side, following Yu's order, White Bones rushed over. Swinging his axe, cut down the motorcycle thug in half. Blood and guts spilled all over the floor. The thugs who had been cut down suddenly was still alive, and as his upper body fell to the ground, let out a sad cry. Seeing the thugs getting cut in half by White Bones, the thugs no longer dared to mess with you. They all got on their motorcycles and quickly fled. While Luwen was watching this horrible scene, her face paled, started vomiting. Although she is known as the Little Witch, but where would she see such horrors? Killing zombies had already made her sick, but now killing people. Qiang looked at the bloody scene. His face is a little pale, but he is mentally strong, so is not very shaken. After routing the biker thugs, Yu now went over to Qing Wu's side. Chen Yao helplessly grabbed Yu, crying, and said, "Boo, hoo-hoo. Yu, I beg you, help Qing Wu. Please save her life. Boo-hoo. It's all my fault. I caused her to be this way." Quiet. Yu frowned and shouted. Chen Yao immediately covered her mouth, sobbing in a low voice. Yu reached over Qing Wu towards her nose and checked, then immediately said, "She is not dead. Woman, come here. Use your minor injury healing on her." Luwen walked over with a paled face, put her 2 hands of Qing Wu's body. 2 white lights pouring from her hands, merged with Qing Wu's body. After a while, Qing Wu, with a paled face, slowly opened her eyes. "Very good, Qing Wu. Fortunately, nothing bad happened to you." Seeing Qing Wu open her eyes, Chen Yao hugged her and cried out loud. Seeing Chen Yao holding her, a hint of softness appears in Qing Wu's eyes. Yu frowned and said, "Chen Yao, you need to quiet down for me. I have something to ask Qing Wu." Chen Yao immediately stopped crying, but still held Qing Wu. Yu looked at Qing Wu in a deep voice said, "You have multiple injuries. You are not able to fight? Lu and skill have not completely healed you?" Qing Wu's body moved slightly, Pretty soon her eyebrows furrowed. With a faint tone, said, "My injuries are not light. I estimated that there are several bone fractures. If there are no doctor, I'm afraid I cannot fight within a month." Hearing Qing Wu words, Chen Yao inside felt a sense of fear. Without protection from Qing Wu, she did not know how to survive in this world. Wang Zhiguang and the thugs showed her the cruelty of the world today. Qing Wu, after saying that, with those beautiful eyes staring quietly at you to see his reaction. With the end of the world, no one likes to take a burden around. Chen Yao stands beside Yu Zhong. A firm face said, "I will replace Qing Wu and fight. I will be driving and cooking. No matter what you say, I will listen. Please don't abandon us." Who said anything about abandoning you? I just want to ask so I can make the right judgment. Go drive. Yu frowned, went to Qing Wu's body, picked her up and onto the school bus. Chapter 28, Firearms. Chapter 28, Firearms. Chen Yao breathed a sigh of relief, wiped her tears, then quickly went to sit in the driver's seat. You ordered, "Go to the police station." Chen Yao immediately started the bus and drove towards the police station. To Qiyang, you said, "Qiyang, you stay here to protect them. I will go in and look for weapons. If anything is wrong, immediately call me." The other person that was capable of killing an S1 zombie was Qing Wu, but because of Chen Yao, she was injured with broken bones and cannot fight. You could only tell Qiyang to stay and protect Qing Wu. Qiyang picked up Qing Wu's imitation Tang sword and replied to you, "You can rest assured." After the explanation, you, White Bones, and Qiyang quickly got off the school bus, then fiercely started killing the surrounding zombies. After killing more than 10 zombies outside the school bus, you and White Bones then quickly rushed in the police station. Just having entered the police station, 5 tattered-faced zombies wearing police uniforms immediately head over towards you and White Bones. You charged forward between the flashing light of his sword, decapitated 3 zombies. The remaining 2 zombies was easily slayed by White Bones. After killing the 5 zombies, you walked over to their bodies and with gloves took the pistols from their waists. Out of the 5 zombies, only 3 of them had pistols. You was able to get 3 Type 54 pistols and 15 rounds of ammunition. You then put the pistols and ammunitions into his backpack. Compared his unreliable shooting skills, it was easier to kill the zombies with his sword. You shortly after went to find the firearms storeroom. Firearms and ammunition storage room is the police department most heavily guarded room, each one equipped with steel doors and anti-theft system. Stand in front of you is a tightly closed steel door. You took a look at the tightly closed steel door, then ordered White Bones, "Destroy this door for me." White Bones received Yu's order, fiercely swung the axe to strike the door. White Bones had been promoted to level 9, so was 80% stronger than an average person. Hitting the door at full force was extremely scary. Boom! A tremendous sound rang out. The axe hitting the steel door formed a large dent, revealing a deep axe mark. With 8 consecutive axe strikes, White Bones was able to split the steel door, then pushed it open. "Don't move! Get your hands up!" The steel door had just opened, when from inside a delicate sound rang out. You looked straight ahead, seeing in the storage room was a woman in police uniform. Her chest rising, looks very beautiful, is about 25 years old. The police officer was armed with the Type 54 pistol, aiming at him. When you eyed the woman officer, that policewoman also carefully looked at you. When she saw White Bones, her eyes flashed a hint of disbelief. Skeletons that only appears in magical stories is impossible to see in this world. "White Bones, grab her!" You quickly moved to the side, ordered White Bones. White Bones received the order and marched towards the policewoman, his right hand fast like a meteor, caught the policewoman. Bang! Bang! Crisp sound of gunshots sounded. The female police officer fired several shots at White Bones without hesitation. The bullets hit White Bones and just slipped past his bones. White Bones' body just trembled a bit, and soon with a bony hand grabbed the policewoman's right hand took her pistol, and then forced the female policewoman on the ground. Sounds of gunshots dissipated. You came in from the main entrance. Who are you? This is a police firearms storage room. You are trespassing without permission, have committed a crime. On the ground, that female police officer stared at you and said, you walked in front of the policewoman, wave his hand at White Bones. White Bones then quickly let go of the policewoman that had suppressed. My name is Yuzhou. I'm sorry, but the world have ended, and I need to be armed with weapons in order to survive. Beyond that, I don't have any malicious intent. Officer, what's your name? My name is Su Ru Shui. What is this? Su Ru Shui stood up, pointed to White Bones standing beside you, and asked, you asked, did you hear the voice that claimed to be God? I heard it. Did you? Su Ru Shui's facial expression changed. She thought that she was the only person who heard the strange voice. You explained, that skeleton was obtained by me in the magical system of the gods. It is one of the skills. Su Ru Shui's eyes flashing with eagerness asked, how do you get that kind of ability? This special skeleton is not afraid of being shot and have extraordinary fighting abilities. Su Ru Shui also want to get this magic ability. You casually says, if you dare to kill zombies after obtaining the corresponding skill book, you can obtain this skill. You are the one safeguarding the firearms. You asked Su Ru Shui. Su Ru Shui shook her head and said, no. Can you give me the pistol? No. You outright refused. He can't just let someone who had just threatened him with a weapon have it back. The level 2 protective garment can withstand small caliber bullets, but it cannot protect everything. If it hit him in the head, he would die. Destroy the safe. You looked at the safe in the room and ordered White Bones. White Bones immediately swung his axe, smashing the safe's lock. The safe's lock broke after 3 hits. You opened the gun's safe, revealing row upon row of guns. Type 54 pistols, Type 79 submachine gun, Type 85 sniper. Good stuff, really good stuff. You stared at row upon row of guns in the safe with a surprised look in his eyes. Guns represent power. Only those with power will have a greater chance of survival in these last days. You, after several strengthening, is now unafraid of ordinary zombies, but he is only one man after all, so his power and effectiveness is limited. In addition, melee combat consumes a lot of stamina. With firearms, he will be able to survive better. You quickly packed the firearms up, carrying some on his back and some on White's Bones. You looked at Su Ru Shui and asked, are you going to stay here or come with me? I'll go with you. Su Ru Shui said without hesitation. Stay here and die. She didn't want to die. Chapter 29 Mission. Chapter 29 Mission. You and White Bones carrying the guns, along with Su Ru Shui, quickly withdrew to the school bus. Lots of guns. Lu Wen rushed over, looked at a pile of guns, picked up a Type 54 pistol while toying with it. Wang Shuang looked at the pile of guns, his eyes glinting a strange light. The old world order has collapsed. Before the new world order is established, having guns mean having power. Chen Yao and Qing Wu were to the side watching. Seeing those guns, both their eyes lit up. The bullets. Qiang took a Type 79 submachine gun, playing around with it, then asked, not enough hands. Can only take that much at once. Watch her, don't let her touch the guns. I'll go find the bullets. You finished saying, then rushed off the school bus with White Bones. You soon found the ammunition storage room in the police station. White Bones broke the ammunition storage room's lock with his axe. A rotten-faced zombie dressed in police uniforms staggered towards you from inside. You decapitated the zombie with his sword. Then a ball of light flew into his body. Congratulations, you have been promoted to level 10. You have 2 stats points. Please assign you points. Distribute 1 point to stamina, 1 point to agility. You quickly made the choice. Congratulations, you have been promoted to level 10. You have gained 1 skill point. Please select the skill to upgrade, or you can retain it. Skill point. You eyes lit up, immediately made a choice. Immediately upgrade summon a special skeleton skill. From within you, A flash of white light surged out of his body into white bones, forming a rune. The rune on the skeleton, absorbing the white lights, began to transform. On the skeleton, many esoteric runes appeared. When after the runes formed, a black light emitted from between Yu's eyebrows, fell upon white bones. Absorbing the black light, white bones begins to change. Its bones began to change from all white to cyan. Your special skeleton has evolved and acquired a new skill. Please select the skill to acquired. Skill 1, Reinforce Bones. This ability allows special skull's bones to become harder, difficult to damage. Skill 2, Bone Manipulation. This skill allows free manipulation of the special skeleton's body, so its attacks will become more bizarre. Select Skill 1, Reinforce Bones. You thought for a moment, then made the choice. Currently, the most important thing missing on Yu's team is a strong shield. White Bone skeleton body is not very strong, and if surrounded by a group of zombies, all the bones can be removed easily, thus losing the battle. After you made the choice, a black light flashing, on top of the chest of White Bones, many mysterious black runes appeared. The moment when the runes formed, White Bones' body turned an eerie metallic sheen. Special Skeleton, White Bones, Level 9. Power, 2310. Agility, 2310. Vitality, 2310. Stamina, 16/23, 10. Spirit, 23/23, 10. Strength, 35/10. Have Skills 1, Utilizing Bones. Skill 2, Reinforce Bones. After upgrading Summon a special skeleton skill, White Bones not only acquired the skill of Reinforce Bones, its 6 stats also got an extra +5 points. It was now more than twice as strong as an average person. After the upgrade to White Bones, the sound in Yu's mind did not stop. You have already promoted to level 10, is now qualify for a novice mission. Mission Summary. Searching for Novice Village. The world has changed. In order to better evolve, the system in each of these cities have established a Novice Village. Novice Village belong to the safe area, does not have mutated monsters. Also have a job change system. Having a job enables you to become more powerful. If you're a first entrant to Novice Village, the system will give you a generous reward. The piece of information sounded directly in Yu's mind. Novice Village? It seems that I have to change the plan. Yu quietly thought. He originally intended to prepare by getting their hands on firearms and head to Longhai City. The novice mission have made him change his mind. Only the fastest to adapt to this world will get the greatest abilities. You right now just want to be able to live a better life. You took a look at the zombie's corpse on the ground, wearing gloves, searched the body for a bit, and found a set of keys. You picked up the keys and tested it on the ammunition safe, and soon opened the safe, exposing the inside were various ammunition boxes that were stacked neatly. Finally, you looked at the boxes of ammunition and has a satisfied look. With the ammunition, he has a better chance of surviving in this world. You and White Bones transported the ammunitions several times, and soon all the ammunitions was carried to the school bus. Qiang and you each on the back carried the Type 79 submachine gun, body covered with magazines. Looks like militants on television. Chen Yao, Qing Wu, and Lu Wen is each assigned a Type 54 pistol for self-defense. Shuang also got a Type 54 pistol and 10 rounds of ammunition. Please give me back my pistol. I'm a policeman. I won't hurt you. Su Rushue looked at Yu's people, frowned, and requested. Without a pistol, she didn't feel secured. Lu Wen seized Yu's arm and, rocking like a baby, said, "Big brother Yu, get it back to her. Big sister Rushue is not bad. Without pistol, what would she do if she encounters zombies?" You looked at Su Rushue and said, "Jiangsu officer, I can give you back your pistol, but I warn you, if you point your gun at us, then we will show you no mercy." Su Rushue approached you and said, "As long as you don't break the law, I will never point the gun at you." Yu Zhong stared at Su Rushue, shook his head, still threw the pistol to her. Su Rushue in the past will be a good police officer, but in these last days, With such principles without power or protection, surviving would be difficult. Where are we going next? Chen Yao asked you. You thought for a moment, and a deep voice said, Go back to school. I promised the survivors of the girls' dormitory. If there is spare capacity, I will go save them. Okay. Chen Yao immediately started the school bus and sped away toward the school. On the way there, the school bus hit zombies. Because the school bus had too many collisions, it was beaten and bumpy. Not good. Seems like we need to look for new vehicles as soon as possible. You looked at the beaten school bus, frowning slightly. If the school bus continues with these impacts, soon it will be scrapped. After all, the school bus is not a tank, and the extent of China's school bus cannot be as strong compared to the U.S. Chapter 30, Rescue. Chapter 30, Rescue. The school bus was speeding down the road. You took out 2 sweet buns from his backpack, giving one to Qiyang, and then quickly eating the other one. After fighting all morning, he was hungry and tired. Lu went to you said, Big brother you, I'm hungry too. Also give me a sweet bun. You took another sweet bun from his bag, then gave it to Lu Wen. Lu Wen sat next to you and began gobbling down the sweet bun. Seeing them eat the sweet buns, Su Ru Shui swallowed a mouthful of saliva. She has not eaten for more than a day. Su Ru Shui hesitated, then said to you, Please give me a little something to eat. I have not eaten for a day. You looked at Su Ru Shui, then took a can of 8 treasures kanji from his backpack and tossed it to Su Ru Shui. Thank you. After Su Ru Shui politely thanked you, immediately opened the can. Not caring about her image, started gulping down the food. She felt that from childhood till now, this was the most delicious kanji she have eaten. The school bus sped towards Yunhua University. Hearing the sound of the school bus, the zombies outside the university began to stagger towards the school bus. Running over a dozen of zombies, the school bus finally stopped at the girls' dormitory. The zombies surrounding the girls' dormitory, hearing the sound, staggered over. You and Qiang took out their Type 79 submachine gun and switched off the safety, then pointed it at the zombies and started shooting. Under the fire of the 2 submachine guns, the surrounding zombies were mowed down. After they stopped shooting, the bullet-ridden zombies either stood up or crawled over toward you and Qiang. Only by damaging the zombie's brain can you kill them. You and Qiang fired hundreds of rounds of ammunition, but only killed 5 zombies. Their marksmanship cannot compare to trained soldiers. I'm not getting any EXP using these heated weapons. You watched those zombies standing up again and frowned. Even though his marksmanship is terrible, but under the intense fire, several zombies dropped and did not get up again. However, he did not see the ball of white light going into his body. Also, the zombies that were killed by the bullets did not drop anything, not even a survival coin. When you use the novice staff and Imitation Tang sword to kill zombies, at least a survival coin worth $1 will drop. Stop shooting. Qiang, let's go. You immediately stopped firing and said to Qiang. Qiang nodded, picked up the Tang sword, and together with you, headed toward the zombies. White Bones had become unrivaled after his strengthening. Before you and Qiang broke into the group of zombies, White Bones with his axe in hand was like a whirlwind dancing in the group of zombies. The head of the zombie that got hit by White Bones' axe was instantly smashed open. Monster. Extremely scary. On the school bus, Su Ru Shui looked at the unrivaled White Bones, eyes opened wide in astonishment. Amazing. When did you, skeleton, get so strong? On the school bus, Chen Yao watched White Bones wading through the group of zombies unhindered. Her eyes flashed a touch of disbelief as White Bones wantonly slaughtered the zombies. She has seen how powerful White Bones was before, but its power was still acceptable compared to an average person. However, its strength was far beyond ordinary humans. The dozens of zombies around the girls' dormitory was quickly eliminated by White Bones, you, and Qiang. White Bones killed more than 20 zombies, while the rest was killed by you and Qiang. Dozens of zombies meagerly contributed a few dozen survival coins and an apple of vitality. Qiang stayed behind and guarded the school bus, while you head towards the dormitory and rushed up the stairs. Inside a dorm room on the 4th floor, various items were stacked in front of the door to block it. For girls were crowded on a bed, eyes filled with fear and exhaustion. Throughout the room was silence, as if there is no one living there. The atmosphere was extremely depressing. The 4 girls clearly understood that the zombies could tell where they are by sounds, so they dare not talk too loudly. Chen, a girl whispered, asking, "Zhongli, I'm hungry. Is there anything left to eat?" Zhongli, with a wry smile, said, "That last piece of chocolate, did we not divide it this morning to eat?" "Zhongli, are you saying we're going to die?" All of a sudden, Lin Shi said this while looking at Zhongli. Her heart was filled with fear and anxiety. Zhongli comforts, "Don't worry about it. We will be saved. Soon someone will come and save us. He said he'd be back for us, didn't he? We need to believe him." Having said this, but in fact, Zhongli did not have any hope. After all, now that the world has become like this, wanting someone to risk their life to rescue someone was a slim probability. Now whoever saved me, I will be his girlfriend. A beautiful girl named Yuaning with long black hair, oval face, big beautiful eyes, tall and busty said. Yuaning was the most beautiful girl of the musical department at Yunhua University. She usually had a lot of pursuers, but her standards were also high and did not have a boyfriend like a lofty, proud white swan. Zhongli teased, "To be our swan princess boyfriend, I don't know who could be so lucky." Ying, didn't you say that you did not want a boyfriend while in college? Inside the dorm room, that suffocating atmosphere was broken. Several girls in that moment forgot their fear and laughed quietly. At this moment, suddenly came the sound of impact of a zombie hitting the door. The 4 girls suddenly shut up, without a word, eyes filled with fear, while holding each other, their body trembling at the thought that the zombie would smash through the door. If the dormitory doors was smashed, they would all become food for the zombies. Shortly outside came the rumbling sound of the school bus engine. That sound of the zombie in front of the dorm room quickly disappeared. "There are people. Someone came to rescue us." Hearing the school bus engine sound, a surge of joy welled up in the 4 girls. They immediately rushed to the window next to the bathroom to look outside. "It's you, Zhong. You came back to save us." Far away, Zhongli saw Yu's figure in the school bus and was suddenly moved to tears. Chapter 31, Dead Person. Chapter 31, Dead Person. "Great, this time we are saved." After seeing the school bus, Yuaning cried out. Trapped in the girls' dormitory, seeing no chance of survival, if not dying of starvation or thirst, then will die for being eaten by a zombie. With this reality, if it was not for the girls encouraging each other's, it would have made them go crazy. "We will be saved." Lin Shi and Chen holding each other, crying tears of joy. At the same time, the zombies outside the door, headed toward the girls' dorm room, began to strike at it violently. The 4 girls closed their mouth, did not even dare to move, standing together quietly, looking at the door with fear in their eyes. The door represented their escape and survival. After striking a while, those zombie strikes suddenly disappeared. The 4 girls felt relieved when all of a sudden, the dormitory door moved. The door was pushed open along with a large pile of debris. A body full of open sores, skin black, 2 meters tall, and bringing a feeling of endless oppression. It was the L1 zombie, which appeared in front of the 4 girls. The door and debris could stop normal zombies, but it could not stop the powerful evolved L1 zombie. "We are finished." Seeing the 2 meters tall, sinister-looking L1 zombie, the 4 girls' faces were pale from fear. They all know that this time they cannot escape death. Chen, with very little courage, was trembling from fear and limp on the ground. Normal zombies do not have vision, only instinct, sound, and smell to find prey. With the evolved L1 zombies, whose sight has been restored, stared at the 4 girls with its vicious eyes. The 4 girls were so scared that they could not move at all. Join together. Just block it. You will come and save us. Zhongli gritted her teeth and said to the other 3 girls. Afterwards, she grabbed a metal pail next to her and threw it at the L1 zombie. With the metal pail flying at it, the L1 zombie did not dodge and continued forward. The metal pail hit the zombie's body, but it did not have any effect at all. Watching this scene, the 4 girls felt even more fear. Yuan Ying and Lin Shi gritted their teeth, grabbed the soaps and shampoos, throwing it at the L1 zombie. However, it did not have any effect. The zombie quickly strode toward the 4 girls and grabbed Chen Ying, who was limp on the floor. It opened its jaws and bit hard on Chen Ying's neck, biting her throat, causing the blood to float out immediately. Chen Ying's eyes were dilated and full of pain, but she continued to struggle in the hands of the zombie. Seeing this horrible scene, the girls lost their will to fight and moved towards the window. Jump out. Falling to our death is better than being eaten alive by it. Zhongli looked decisively and cried loudly. Lin Shi and Yuan Ying are afraid to look out the window, hesitated a moment, and didn't dare to jump out. After the L1 zombie took a few bites of meat from Chen Ying's throat, immediately stood up and stared coldly at the 3 girls. Looking at the bloody mouth of the zombie, the 3 girls were filled with despair. At this point, you finally arrived at the dorm room, with a body movement fast like a cheetah, rushing to the L1 zombie, with a sword fast as lightning slashing towards the zombie's neck. Your speed was far above the L1 zombie. It did not have time to react, and its head was sent flying with a sword slash. Your single strike, beheading the zombie, was etched into the eyes of the 3 girls. At this moment, still tainted by fresh blood on his body, you in the eyes of 3 girls was very cute. Come with me. You glanced at the 3 girls and said. He then picked up the survival coins and 3 white treasure boxes, did not stay, and immediately rushed out. He continues to look for the survivors in the dormitory. After all, he said he would come back to save them. The 3 girls nodded, then followed quickly behind you. Yuan Ying had something to say, but you did not look at her. After the world changed, Yu has been in a constant state of tension, his nerves on edge, forcing himself to do all kinds of preparations. He still had a great sense of fear for what will happen in the near future. The 3 girls had just gotten out of the dorm room when they saw the terrible scene. In the dormitory hallway was full of bodies of headless zombies and their head. Watching the zombie, disgusting corpses, the 3 girls were nauseous and had an upset stomach. Wait a moment. Hold on. Seeing you quickly running out the 4th floor, Yuan Ying anxiously cried out in a loud voice. This is her only chance of survival. She didn't want to give up. You looked at the 3 girls and frowned. Come on, keep up. You scolding caused Yuan Ying to felt grievance, with eyes reddening, tears falling down. She grew up being admired by everyone, with a beautiful face and intelligence that was pursued by countless guys. This was her first time being so ruthlessly scolded by someone. At the same time, Zhongli walked over to you and said, You, do you remember me? You stared at Zhongli, thinking for a moment, face down, revealing a trace of a smile. Big sis Zhongli, thank you for that time that you introduced me as the tutor. The tutoring job to Lu Wen was thanks to Zhongli, so Yu felt grateful to her. If it wasn't for the tutoring job, Yu's college life would have become very hard. Liu was relieved, smiles and says, No, that is your own skill. If you couldn't get the little witch to accept you, I would not have of much help. Big sis Zhongli, you have not eaten all day. This is a can of 8 treasures kanji. You go ahead and eat that to fill your stomach. Yu quickly took out a can of 8 treasures kanji from his backpack and gave it to Zhongli. Yuan Ying and Lin Shi stared at the can of 8 treasures kanji in Zhongli's hand, with their eyes open wide. The both of them were hungry for more than a day. Zhongli gave you a look of in need of help. Yu once again opened the backpack and pulled out 2 small pieces of bread and handed it to Yuan Ying and Lin Shi. You first eat this. Once we go back, you can eat a delicious meal. Yu's backpack of emergency supplies was for him, He will not easily give it to anyone. If he was stuck in a dangerous situation, the emergency supplies would allow him to survive 7 days or so. Thank you. Taking the 2 palm-sized bread, Yuan Ying and Lin Qi thank you. In his mind, am I not important as Zhongli? Yuan Ying ate her bread while feeling unfairness in her heart. She was like a goddess and looked much more beautiful than Zhongli. However, Yu was treating Zhongli better than her, which makes her somewhat resentful. Chapter 32, Differences. Chapter 32, Differences. In the girls' dormitory, in addition to the 3 girls, you also found 9 girls while searching the remaining dorm rooms. This dormitory can hold hundreds of people, but only 12 survivors. The rest of the people, if they didn't turn into zombies in the beginning, then they're devoured by the zombies. You took the 12 surviving girls back to the school bus. After sitting down, said to Chen Yao, "Go to the general office building." Chen Yao did not ask, immediately started the school bus and headed toward the general office. There were not many zombies around the office building. You then rushed to the front of the building. After getting off the school bus, you quickly went to the accounting office. At this time, the accounting office's door was close, with not even the slightest movement. You shouted towards the accounting office, "I'm you. Zhaozhen, are you still there?" "I'm here." From the accounting office came a sound, then the door opened wide. Zhao Zhen, with a surprised look on his face, stared at you. He really did not expect that you would come back to save them. He had thought that you would not come back at all. Zhao Zhen, with a look of gratitude toward you, said, "You. Thank you very much." "You're not being too modest," toward Zhao Zhen urged. "Come on." Zhao Zhen is also very decisive, quickly replied, "Yes." Zhao Zhen took his group and followed you, quickly heading towards the school bus. Chen Yao watched Zhao Zhen's group of people getting on the bus and asked you, "Are we heading back?" You quickly replied, "No, go to the small supermarket at the intersection. We need to get more supplies." Shortly after, the school bus stopped in front of the small supermarket. Being attracted by the sound of the engine, the surrounding zombies staggered over towards the small supermarket. There were dozens of zombies. Zhao Zhen, looking at the dozens of zombies, his eyes flashed with fear. "Do we really need to stop here? There are so many zombies." The guy with glasses, Chen Yi, also echoed the sentiment. "Yes, we could wait a few days to find the supplies. It is too dangerous here. Chen Yao, drive. We have to leave here at once." Chen Yao ignored Chen Yi while looking at you. She was fully aware of who is the indispensable member of the group. Chen Yi, seeing his words having no effect, felt a bit awkward. Yu Zhong frowned, just lightly said, "Open the door." Chen Yao immediately opened the door. You, towards White Bones, ordered, "Take care of them." Receiving the order from you, White Bones alone rushed towards the group of zombies. You looked at all the people on the bus and ordered, "Everyone except Chen Yao, Qing Wu, and Lu Wen, immediately head down and transport the supplies." Wang Shuang, hearing Yu's words, immediately responded by getting off the bus and rushed toward the small supermarket. He was fully aware Yu's personality. If they did not act, the first to be abandoned in the future is someone that is useless. Except for Wang Shuang, the rest were silent. Surrounded by zombies everywhere, there was dangers on the street. They don't have courage to leave the safety of the school bus. You frowned, then glanced at Zhongli. His voice became cold. "You don't have to transport the supplies, but people that don't transport the supplies do not eat. In the future, you will also have to find your own supplies. In this post-apocalyptic world, even you have to labor in order to survive." He simply cannot afford to take care of a bunch of people that were not willing to do anything. Zhang is also very intelligent, responded, "Come on, Ying, Chi, we will go transport the supplies." With that, Zhongli quickly jumped off the school bus and rushed toward the small supermarket. Yuan, pouting, stared at Chen Yao, Qing Wu, and Lu Wen. Feeling resentment, got off and ran toward the small supermarket. Under the leadership of Zhang Li and Zhao Zhen, the rest of the girls in the bus hesitated, eventually got off the bus, and joined the ranks of those transporting the supplies. You told Shuang to stay on the bus and guard the firearms, while he got off the bus to keep watch. Amazing! Zhao Zhan, while transporting the supplies, took a glance at White Bones and filled his heart with shock. Seeing White Bones wielding his axe killing dozens of zombies, each swing killing a zombie, not one zombie could withstand White Bones' strike. If I have this ability, it would great. After seeing that White Bones' power was beyond the average human, Zhao Zhan's eyes flashed with a burning desire. To become Yunhua Student Union President, Zhao Zhan is not a stupid man. He's very clear that the world has changed, and only gaining power can one survive this post-apocalyptic world. In order to get stronger, he needed to risk his life and fight the zombies. However, he did not have the courage. Under the efforts of all the people, most of the supplies in the small supermarket was moved onto school bus. Drive home. On the school bus, you said to Chen Yao. Chen Yao started the school bus and immediately drove away. All the way without incident, they safely returned to Chen Yao's apartment. After all the supplies were transported to Chen Yao's apartment, under her arrangements began to eat. The various firearms and ammunitions that they brought back were stored in Yu's room and was guarded by White Bones. Zhao Zhan, holding a can of 8 treasures kanji, sat down beside Yu. With an earnest face asked, "Yu, the next step? What's your plan? Now head to Longhai City Enclave?" Zhao Zhan learned about Longhai City Enclave from the other people. Listening to the words of Zhao Zhan, all the survivors in the room look at you, their eyes full of hope. Most people are eager to go to Longhai City Enclave formed by the government, rather than staying in a place where zombies are everywhere. You, after eating an apple of vitality, lightly said, "No, I would like to stay in Leijiang City for some time." "How can you be like this?" "Because of you, the rest of us have to stay with you in Leijiang City, which is full of zombies. Why don't we have a show of hands? According to a democracy, the vote is stay in Leijiang City or go to Longhai City. Agree to stay in Leijiang City? Raise your hand." The guy with glasses, who looks very handsome and capable, who follows Zhao Zhan and the girly Manny, said with dissatisfaction and was the first to raise his hand. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.